The following broadcast is exclusively owned by LLC, which owns and controls all copyrights and all other rights in and to the content. Any unauthorized use or rebroadcast is strictly prohibited.
Times have changed. Some athletes dedicated their careers defending their team, patrolling the ice, raising to challenges, playing with courage, honor, pride. Some say these gladiators no longer have a place in sport. We think they're wrong, because whether it's sports or it's life, you gotta fight. We usher in a new era, one where the Ice Warrior has its place, a home to challenge themselves, to solidify a legacy, because anything worth having is worth fighting for. So yes, times have changed, but the fighting spirit inside of all of us has not. So you could take the fighting out of the game, but Ice Wars, it's not a game.
It's a gorgeous spring evening here in Enoch, Alberta, and tonight, history will be made from the River Cree Resort and Casino. It is the first ever International Ice Wars. Welcome inside the venue where tonight, the King of the Rink tournament and $15,000 is at stake. As alongside Chris Terry and Phil Jubileo with you. And Chris, this is going to be such a fun evening of entertainment for these hockey and fight fans.
Unbelievable evening, especially being here in Western Canada. The crowd is so fit for this. We have most of the combatants are from, a lot of them from Western Canada. We have people from all over, but this is going to be one heck of a venue. River Cree's done an amazing job. There's going to be an electrifying energy in this building. And I'll tell you what, the 8 combatants that we have, every single one of them has plans to walk out of this building with $15,000. That's what they're here for. They're not here to make friends, to be buddies. They want to come out here, establish superiority, and get the win in the $15,000.
Well, Chris, I know during your long career in the National Hockey League, you didn't drop the gloves all that often, but you were certainly a spectator in the fighting city of Philadelphia with the Flyers to many tilts over the years. And when you look at a night like this, it really is unlike any other. I'm sure it's unlike anything you've ever experienced in the NHL.
I've seen some of the greatest fighters in probably the history of the game. I played with them, guys like Dave Brown, Craig Berube, household names. And certainly with Philadelphia, an organization that had the lore of the Broad Street Bullies in the early 70s. You know, that's an organization I grew up in and saw much of that. So when I take a lot of the lore, you're right, I didn't have the 500 fights maybe like Sean McMorrow's had, but I grew up in a fight environment in Philadelphia. That's something that they took pride in, blue-collar type of crowd. And I think a lot of the guys are going to see here tonight transcend to that same type of history that they've had before. Fighting, getting on the ice, sticking up for your teammates. It's all part of the culture of hockey.
Well, blue-collar crowd, I'm sure we will see in the crowd here tonight. We're going to see some blue-collar fighters in this opening round of the 8-man King of the Rink tournament. There's some big boys that are going to do battle.
I'll tell you what, I mean, I thought I was tall, 6'5", and well over 250, but we got guys in here now, 324 pounds, 6'2". I mean, you look at the size of some of these guys, you know, it's amazing. We're a heavyweight contest only here today, up over 200 pounds. Not necessarily, I think, Phil, when you look at a lot of the guys involved, you know, there's guys that have the 324 on them, but there's other guys that are in the low 200s that you have to wonder, where do they stack up against the size? Because the first thing you look at when you see the board and you see the battles, it's the amount of size involved. I mean, you have some huge men, 290 pounds, 285, those type of numbers, not just one or two. There's like 5 or 6 of them.
Let's take a look at the bracket of the opening round of this 8-man King of the Rink tournament. Chris, some really interesting and intriguing matchups that we're going to see here tonight.
No question about it. And I think the first, when you look at it and you go back, Daniel Amesbury and Derek Parker, they are really it's an intriguing fight in the first round. And that may be, a lot of people say, man, the matchup, Amesbury's the guy who's this 225-pound fighter, 6 foot, against the legend, the Lion Derek Parker, who is a god in the fighting circuit. You know, I saw Amesbury going up, introducing himself to him as, God, I grew up watching you. Like, you're a god to me. So they're going to have a tilt. The other ones, too, Phil, I mean, you've seen some of these guys, too. Chase Tippin and Corey Allen. there's a lot of history in that one as well.
Oh, yeah. These are guys that fought earlier this season, just a couple of months ago. And you know what? Revenge sometimes is a dish best served. And, you know, in the case of Chase Tippin, he was on the losing end in a senior men's league game a couple of months ago. It's going to be real interesting to see how these guys are going to battle here tonight.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And other guys, too, you're looking at the major heavyweight we're talking about was Travis Levitsky and Justin Bonesaw Sawyer. I mean, you're looking at probably close to 600 pounds of man on the synthetic ice here, and they're going to be chucking it. Part of the thing when you talk to the big guys is, and every one of them is conceded saying, we're going to check our balance. That's where it's at, because there's point scoring involved in this, 10-point must scoring, and balance is going to be every bit as important as you taking the punch and giving them as well. So that really does is a preeminent part of this fight. The other one, the last one too, and you know a lot about him, is Curtis Swanson. Cowboy Swanson, he's going up against the Quebec representative, Jean-François Lafrance.
Yeah, Curtis Swanson is a guy that has fought in this tournament before. He reached the final, lost in a final matchup back, I think, around 12 years ago. Yep. So he's very experienced in that world. And Lafrance is a guy that plays in the LNAH, which is the Senior Men's Quebec Hockey League. And, you know, they were known for many years as the tough enforcer type league. And, you know, he's always ready to drop the gloves. And that dude's just completely jacked.
He's completely jacked up. Absolutely. Well, one thing we do have here too, Phil, we have a new league. Although there's been a variant of it before, this is a new league, which means new rules. And the rules, one of the things that A.J. Galante, Cato Kalin, and company have done, they want to make sure safety was very much a part of this. Players will be using 4-ounce gloves, MMA gloves, and it's going to be certainly something that I think that's going to be important for them. You can see right here the 10-point must system, 2 one-minute rounds, and it's draw after 2 rounds. It's 30 seconds for the icebreaker round to declare the winner.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen once the referee throws up those 2 sets of hands, and they got to go right back into the corners and battle for 30 more seconds. Should be real exciting.
Yeah, and that's what certainly I think makes endurance very much part of this as well, Phil.
We've got a lot coming your way here tonight. In addition to the 8-man King of the Ring tournament, we have 3 grudge matches, some one-off matches. The younger guys really are participating in that tonight. We also have the Enforcers Hall of Fame ceremony. That's coming up tonight. We're going to hear from our judges, some very big celebrity names like John Morasti, Brad Wingfield, Dean Mayrand, who's also a veteran of this type of Ice Enforcers tournament style. Those are our 3 judges tonight. We will hear from them. We're going to hear from A.J. Galante, and you know what? The third man of our broadcast crew at center ice. He's our MC tonight. He's going to be introducing. He's the hype man. He's the most experienced when it comes to dropping the gloves on our crew tonight. Over 500 fights in his professional career. The Sheriff, Sean McMorrow, and he'll be right at center ice when we come back.
Welcome, everybody, to Ice Wars International. We are at the beautiful River Cree Resort and Casino in the beautiful Enoch, Alberta. Guys, I am ecstatic to be here. This is my passion. I'm going to be hosting the event tonight. This is an electric crowd that we have here, guys. I could hardly contain the excitement. The first thing that I would like to do is I would like to introduce the judges. These are 3 celebrity enforcers in the making. Guys, I would like to introduce Mr. John Morasti, Mr. Brad Wingfield, and Dean the Machine Mayrand. Now, guys, one of the most important things about an event like this is obviously the referees. The referees have a very, very tough thing that they have to do here, guys. I want to introduce them to the referees. Phil, Chris, did you want to fill in who the referees are at this point? You know what? This is what we're going to do. I can't contain this excitement. We're going to bring the first fighter out to the octagon right now, and he is going to be Mr. Paddywhack Keegan. Now, Mr. Paddywhack Keegan hails from Pontiac, Michigan. He is 6'3", 255 pounds, ladies and gentlemen, with over 200 career fights. He has amassed those penalty minutes in net, ladies and gentlemen. I repeat, in net. His message to the world is no grip, no pearl. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Paddywhack, a.k.a. Keegan McGraw. And his opponent tonight, at 6'1", 220 pounds, he hails from Morris, Manitoba. He's been suspended for fighting in the stands, ladies and gentlemen. He claims he is undefeated in hockey fights. I repeat, this man has claimed he is undefeated in hockey fights. His message to the world is, I'm just here to chuck some nuts. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Justin Smoke, a.k.a. Haymaker. This being the first fight of the match, guys, let's give it up, make some noise for our first Ice Wars International Fight Combat, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta wait for the referees. We cannot let these two gentlemen start without referees, guys.
You guys want to say?
Yep, you're good. My name? Jim Corrigan.
Dallas Auto.
These are the guys responsible for holding these two warriors at bay. Let's get it on!
You ready, boys?
We're ready for the first round of our first matchup. This is a grudge match between Keegan McGraw and Justice Smoke. McGraw in the orange. He is a bare knuckle fighter, but it is Smoke here in the early going with left hooks to the head. McGraw now trying to come in close. Keegan McGraw, the Pontiac, Michigan native, caught off balance, and they both lost their buckets.
Get in here, get in here.
Interesting start here, Phil, with both those helmets coming off.
Get your lids on.
And certainly both guys here, they're going to be allowed to put those helmets back on. And that'd be the one thing. They did come off as quicker than they were. They're leather-strapped helmets, which they're supposed to be, would then make it more difficult for that helmet to come off.
They do get to continue fighting when the helmet first comes off, and then once the referees are able to get a break in the action, they do have to put them back on.
All right, let's go, let's go.
Got about 30 seconds left in this opening round between McGraw and Smoke.
Come on, come on, come on, let's go. Throw some punches here.
Oh, a little right hand on the head of Smoke. Smoke getting pushed back to the boards. Obviously, the interesting look here on the synthetic ice, the octagon hockey-style boards.
Smoke right there, just missed out on taking out one punch here, and so did Big Paddywhack.
Oh, trading left right now is Smoke and McGraw.
Come on, let's go, let's go. Get it.
A little less fear as the first round ends to hit those helmets. You've got the gloves on. You know, you've dropped the gloves some in the National Hockey League. You're a little bit adverse to trying to hit the helmet. There's less fear in this case.
There is, and I think the one thing that you do see, both guys in there, they decided to come in a little bit closer, trying to stay in the middle of the ring. A couple minor cuts on each guys, and that was a good start to this event.
Also Smoke, and I think it's pretty smart on his part, to bring the bare-knuckle fighter in close. You're a bare-knuckle guy. You don't want to bring out punch as long as we're going to see a look here at some of the moments from back in the first round.
Here they are, and you can see him getting his chin strap fixed, but you can see early here, Justice Smoke coming out. He actually had good power coming out, and then as Paddywhack went back, they would see them trading lefts. Not necessarily their strong suit, but both guys here pretty ferocious, getting ready here to start up the second round. That is a very, very good, energized first round, Phil.
That shows you the strength of Justice Smoke to be able to pull Paddywhack in close. Paddywhack's a guy that probably wants to keep him wide and at bay with a little bit of a height advantage.
There you go, go to war, boys.
Start of the second round.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Smoke from Morris, Manitoba, tried to come in with an uppercut a little bit slow. You can already see early second round, Chris, these guys are a little bit gassed and a knockdown. Smoke takes McGraw down.
Get up.
They'll get up and look McGraw back. Didn't get everything on that, but was able to use some of that uppercut and the leverage to get him down to the ice.
Yep, all balance in that one. That's where it started.
Here, boys. Oh, that's a good one.
No, let him go. Let's go.
Don't clinch here, eh? We need a fight.
Second round has resumed.
Come on, give the fans
That
something,
knockdown
boys.
does help
Give them
Justice Smoke. If this one goes to the cards, Smoke trying to come in with lefts.
Boy.
Helmet about to come off a paddywhack. Smoke with another left. Oh, that one hit the top of his head. An uppercut. Left hooks from Justice Smoke on the side of Keegan McGraw's head. McGraw trying to battle back right now.
What a tilt.
Here, I got orange.
Still throwing the lefts. Justice
Come on,
Smoke.
give him a show.
Paddywhack. Trying to duck under those punches, and Paddywhack coming back in with some left hands of his own, and this one will go to the judges.
That is something else right there. They're throwing ferocious lefts towards the end of that round, Phil. Both guys really, really exhausted. It was a close quartered fight right there. Justice Smoke showing everybody so far why he's undefeated in hockey fights. That was a great 2 rounds.
We didn't know much about Justice Smoke coming in. He does not have a long resume. He's one of the younger guys. That's one of the things about these grudge matchups. We don't know a lot about them. They don't have the records of a Curtis Swanson or a Derek Parker or even an Amesbury to an extent.
That's exactly right. You don't know who these guys are. They're coming in, young guys.
We go now to the center ice rink to hear the decision. Will this go to sudden death? It might. I mean, it was close. Both guys threw a lot of punches. You can see a little bit of a cut under the right eye of Paddywhack.
Here's a look at some of these replays here. You can see both guys here going left. This is towards the end here, and there is no messing around right here. Justice Smoke, I tell you what, it looked a little bit, Phil, like he had a little bit more of the balance, where I think the bare knuckle brawler, Paddywhack, was trying to find his bearings a little bit more, but Justice Smoke, absolutely ferocious at the end. Paddywhack, there's no joke either. Bare knuckler, you know what he's doing.
All right, guys. Wow, how was that? Let's hear it for the first fight of the night. All right, guys, this was a hard-fought battle, but it was a unanimous decision, and the winner goes to Justice Smoke.
Now the Manitoba native Justice Smoke in his Ice Wars debut. Shotgunning a post-fight Bud Light inside the ring.
How are you feeling right now, brother? This is the first fight in the inaugural event, my man.
This is what I fucking do. I mean, this is what I came for. He's a good fucking fighter. Way to stand and ban Keegan. That's the fucking shit.
There's a lot of respect that was done in this fight, which I really appreciate. 2 warriors, absolute warriors, went all out to the end. Keegan, great job. Justice, great victory. Keegan, you did a good job, buddy. This is the first time you're an OG of the Ice Wars, brother.
Yeah, man, Justice is a tough lad. It was a good scrap. Yeah.
You did a great job, lad. Good for you. Great job, Warriors.
Oh, that was quite an excellent tilt for the first one. The replays were great. We had the helmet cam on the ref, and we're going to see that all night long here on Fight TV. And really a perspective that, you know, when you go back a dozen years to the last time this kind of took place, you didn't have the GoPros, you didn't have the center ice cam. So it really gives all of you fans tuning in tonight on Fight TV another perspective of what those combatants are going through right at center ice. And oh, we're on a roll already, Chris.
You know what, Phil? What a great start. You know, it's a lot of guys speculating that fight. Paddywhack, the bare knuckler, out of Detroit, Michigan area. And you know what? Going up against Justice Smoke, no, not a lot of people knew what Justice Smoke had to offer, except his own validating his own reputation. That was a heck of a tilt. The knockdown probably was a decision, but boy, they were throwing those lefts hard at the end of that fight. Paddywhack, no joke either. He has a future in this sport as well. I think it came down to balance, Phil. That's what it looked like a little bit to me.
He certainly does. And when you take a look at what's coming up next, it's the start of the King of the Ring tournament. The 8 fighters battling for the King of the Ring crown and $15,000 for the grand prize winner. So that's what we're all here for tonight, as we're going to take a look at what's coming up next, the very first match in the King of the Ring tournament. Justin Bonesaw Sawyer. Veteran pro Travis Levitsky, Buckethead. We talked about him in the pregame show, Chris, about how he has raised $18,000 for Kid Sport Canada. So, he's got maybe the biggest heart. Yeah. He's got the biggest belly, 324 pounds. He's going to want to use every pound of that weight size advantage on Justin Sawyer. But the Bonesaw is a guy that has fought so many different tough guys in a very long professional career, including time in the Central Hockey League. We're going to take a look here at the helmet-to-helmet. Maybe get a look at some of the numbers between these two guys before we get set to send it down to the sheriff. But let's take a look here on the screen on the helmet-to-helmet. Look at this. Now, they're pretty close in age. Sawyer's the bigger guy, but oh my goodness, just the weight of some of these dudes.
You're looking at, as we said, over 600 pounds in the reach, especially on both of them. 77 on Levitsky. That's still an incredible reach, no matter who you are, but it's 83 for Justin Sawyer. This is going to be an interesting match. It's a lot of meat in this fight.
Now Sawyer has that reach advantage. Had a pretty good reach in his pro career. The sheriff, Sean McMorrow, and he's going to introduce this next fight.
All right, guys, before our next fight, we're actually going to have the national anthem. So I'd appreciate, if you can, please rise. Now, guys, Christina Hollingworth is a multi-talented and award-winning 15-year-old singer-songwriter. She plays both the piano and the ukulele, ladies and gentlemen. On top of that, she is an honors student and a member of the Enoch Cree Nation. She holds several records and is a multi-professional champion in sport of track and field. Christina has sung at many events, including Hometown Hockey in Enoch, the World Indigenous Nation Games 2017, and the Alberta Indigenous Games, just to name a few. Give her a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Kikino ketaskino sakahito wen kichoasemasak kimamichenoak mamenchemoak kichikawitaino ota Chan Nitisko Gasidos Gatinan No Tawinan Gana Wivita Kakanetak Netaskinan
Let's hear it for Christina.
Wonderful job by Christina Hollingsworth with the Canadian national anthem here at the venue at the Cree River Casino in Enoch, Alberta. And let's give it back to Sean. He's got the next set of fighters.
All right, guys, I could hardly contain myself right now of what I'm about to announce. Guys, we are about to announce a clash of two giants. The next fighter coming out to the octagon is going to be Buckethead. Ladies and gentlemen, at 6'3", 324 pounds, he hails from the Poplin, Saskatchewan. He is a hockey and football player with over 100 career fights. Ladies and gentlemen, his message to the world is, I love to hurt people. I will hurt people to tonight, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Buckethead Travis Levitsky. And his opponent, Bonesaw. At 6'6", 294 pounds, he is a heavyweight, a 10-year professional hockey enforcer. He hails from Ajax, Ontario. In 211 pro hockey games, this man has not gone down. I repeat, this man has not gone down in a hockey fight, ladies and gentlemen. His message to the world is, I'm coming to Ice Wars to catch 3 bodies and a crown. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Bonesaw Justin Sawyer. Man, this is going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Justin Sawyer has come to play here tonight, Chris. I mean, just the look of intensity on his face and that blue sweater with the orange and white trim. You've got Travis Levitsky in the orange with the blue and white.
The heaviest amount of weight combined in this event.
We'll see if these guys will shake hands when it's all done and go throw a few back. They're throwing some punches here in the early going. Oh, and Levitsky, well, he takes down Justin Sawyer. Sawyer said he's never been knocked down in a fight, but he quickly went down there as he got hauled down by the shorter but the larger man.
He sure did. Yeah, he came in and he got him sideways. He was able to get that punch to the side, and that ended up putting Bonesaw down.
You know, in the lead up to tonight, Levitsky's been doing a lot of talking. Very cocky and confident. Sawyer a little bit more quiet, but it's Levitsky there with another right hand, and down goes Sawyer again.
He did. It's all about balance, getting used to some of that synthetic, the ice that they have here. Bonesaw again caught. Levitsky was the one that most people were thinking he'd have the most balance issues. So far, that's not the case here early.
He's using his strength to kind of pull Sawyer back a little bit. And you can see Sawyer's having a little bit of trouble on that synthetic ice surface. And that was something we talked about in the free show. And both guys now, oh, there's a couple of big rights from Sawyer. Now he's got his balance. Now he's connecting. But Levitsky coming back. Sawyer trying to pull down Levitsky. Third knockdown of the round.
Wow, that was the comeback part of the round right there for the Bonesaw. He ended up finding his leverage through a couple of heavy bombs right there, and you can see Levitsky. He's cut up pretty good.
Oh, he's dazed.
Dazed for sure.
He's a little bit dazed. Can he continue? Can he continue?
We're going to have it taken over to the side. He's going to get that helmet back on, but certainly he took a couple of heavy bombs right there.
That's the thing. That's the wild card when you talk about Justin Sawyer. When you look at a lot of his old pro fights, and I'm sure some of you fans tuning in on Fight TV have been doing the pre-scout, you watch him on YouTube. Sawyer is a guy that likes to fight in marathons, a lot of longer fights. He'll go a minute, he'll go 90 seconds. That's beneficial on a night like this. And now the question is, and they're working on him, they're working on Travis Levitsky, who was bloodied, and the question is, can he continue? And I don't know if he can.
We're going to have a look at him.
The other cut man is going to come out. No Simon Levy. We're going to resume this opening round. We've seen a lot of. That's it.
You're not ready.
That looks like
We're
they called
done.
it right there. Yeah.
TKO. A TKO. And the winner of this opening round King of the Ring heavyweight match is Justin Bonesaw Sawyer.
And that is exactly what came back. He had those big punches at the end of it right there. And Levitsky went down bloodied and clearly dazed. The right call, I think, by the referees, Phil, on the ice. Safety is the priority here, and they spared none of it. Now, they are looking at him. They're having a chat with him to see what he can do.
They said he wasn't ready. Let's take a look at some of the action right before that last knockdown. They said he wasn't ready. but it's a little undecisive. Let's take a look at these last few moments on replay.
This is the part. This is actually the second knockdown right there.
All right, guys,
Here they go.
The Clash of the Titans just happened. There was a referee stoppage at 52 seconds into the first round. Winner goes to Justice Sawyer.
Sawyer is the winner. So Justin Sawyer advances.
The referee stopped it. There was two really big gentlemen in here. A lot of respect to your opponent.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight over there. Yeah.
You see I'm on my tippy toes, right, big man?
Absolutely.
Congratulations, buddy. That took a lot of grit. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, it took a minute to get used to artificial ice. Once we settled down, it felt a little bit better.
Man, are you ever calm for someone that just went through a war? Good job, buddy. Big guy. All the respect in the world to you, brother. How do you feel, man? You're an OG of Ice Wars. You did it. You did it, bro.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know. We were battling out, and I got called on the fight, I guess.
You did a great job. You showed guts and glory, man. Not too many people can do this. Let's hear it for Levitsky. That's it, bro. The crowd loves you, bro. Great job. I love it. Great job, man.
Well, a smile on Travis Levitsky's face as he exits the ice, even though he ends up on the losing end. We talked about how he raised over $18,000 for Kids Sport Canada. So you know what? A lot of kids are going to end up being winners because he was willing to take some big shots to the head.
He did. He said, the money's going to the kids. I'm coming here to take the $15,000, so it won't make a difference. And I love that attitude. One thing that you do see here already, Phil, the mutual respect between these guys. I mean, even Justin Sawyer right there commending him after. A good start right there, I thought, by Levitsky. Got the two falls that would have scored the points, but just too much bone saw at the end there with those lefts. He really hammered, I thought, Levitsky a couple times, dropped him. That dazed him enough for the rest to say, you know what, we're not going to carry on, and that was the right call.
Oh, we have a lot more coming your way, but
yes.
It was real interesting how you mentioned kind of like that brotherhood, that camaraderie between enforcers. That is something that is a part of hockey for many, many years. You know, some guys, yeah, they just don't like each other, but at the end of the day, many of them do.
Well, how many times do you see guys in any league have a fight, American League, NHL, and I've seen it, and those two guys were out having a beer after the game? I mean, that's part of the culture. That's why hockey players and the guys that are involved in the sport are such great people. They're great. They're amazing human beings off the ice, and the camaraderie they still have together as teammates or even combatants, it shines through. It's really, really great stuff to see that.
Oh, we have some more highlights of the fight that we all just watched here minutes ago between the bonesaw Justin Sawyer and Travis Levitsky.
This is it where it goes here. This is actually where the fight started. You can see Bonesaw go down right here. It looked like a balancing. Now here they start coming back. That was the first one. But Levitsky's starting to feel good right there. And as you can see, Phil, looked like they were both kind of trying to figure out the ice, the surface itself. And here's where it comes back at the end, where the punches really start to come in. This is where Levitsky got cut right there. You see the blood coming out, and he was dazed indeed.
Yeah, a little bit loopy. He was able to get the bleeding stopped. He had a cut man working his corner. He was able to get that stopped, and then once he was going to come right back out, referee basically said, you're not ready. You're not ready to go. And you can see he was just a little bit off balance and just kind of got a little caught. Now, the off balance we're going to see, it's the synthetic ice. Guys really aren't used to it, but it's something in the face. You can get a look pretty quick, and these refs are experienced. They know what to look for.
Yep.
And you know what? Safety is very important. It's paramount to something like this type of competition. Safety is really a big deal. It was something AJ Galante wanted to make a forefront of it and a focus of it, and it's good to see those proactive referees really getting involved early.
I totally agree, and you know what, to take a look at a guy's eyes, no one's here. These guys want to fight. They want to win the money. They want to get money, sponsorship money to give to great foundations. This is just a situation where it happened, but safety is the priority, as it should have been. The gloves are a statement already. I'd like to see those chin straps button up a little bit more. They're coming off. That was part of it, but you know what? We're figuring it out as we go along here. That was an amazing fight again, though, two guys.
Well, we've got another matchup coming your way. It is the second round of the heavyweight tournament, and let's send it down to the sheriff.
This just seems to be getting better and better. I don't know if anyone else agrees with me. I got to hear the crowd, though. I want you guys fired up for this. The inaugural event of Ice Wars. Let me hear you guys a little bit here. That's it. I love it. I love it. I thought the fighters had energy, but the crowd has energy tonight. Guys, our next fighter announced will be the Beast. At 5'10", 245 pounds, he hails from Quebec, Canada, with over 150 career hockey fights, averaging over 8 minutes per game, ladies and gentlemen. I repeat, he is averaging over 8 minutes per game. He is currently playing for the Predator de Laval in the LNH. And his... Ladies and gentlemen, we have a surprise fighter coming out. It looks like he cannot wait any longer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chase Tippin, aka Tip. His message to the world is, I am here to take the crown. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Chase Tippin. Mr. Tippin! Yeah!
Yeah, we're getting ready for Chase Tippin and Corey Allen. You saw the head-to-head matchup on the screen here on Fight TV. Chase Tippin has come out to the ice ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fighter is the Alley Train. At 6'1", 278 pounds, he hails from Dundalk, Ontario. He has over 200 career fights with over 1,500 career penalty minutes. His message to the world is, get my crown fitted and ready. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the Alley Train, Corey Allen. Guys, there is a lot of history between these two gentlemen. They did square off in professional hockey this season. There needs to be some redemption. Let's hear it from the stands, guys. Let's get it on!
And when these two men fought a couple of months ago, it was Corey Allen putting a hole in Chase Tippin's head.
Yes,
a big gash. Oh my gosh. Round two between these two guys.
This is a grudge match.
In the weigh-in yesterday, Tippin flipping off Corey Allen. And a quick knockdown. And it's Tippin with a big handful of rights in the early going to the helmet of Corey Allen.
Corey Allen has been trained by an old teammate of mine, Aaron Downey, who I played with in Dallas, one of the tough men in the NHL at one point.
Waiting for them to engage once again. Oh, big right hand from Tippin. And now Tippin with a series of rights to the back of Allen. And Allen goes down a second time.
Again, guys trying to gauge their balance. These guys have spent a couple days coming on the ice on and off to figure it out. So far, Tippin early with that lead.
Now Tippin.
20 seconds, let's go.
With about 20 seconds left in this round, you can hear the refs. They are mic'd. Oh, and it's Tippin again. It's been all Tippin here in this opening round. A lot of those shots, though, to the helmet of Corey Allen. Nearing the end of the round, and another big right. Knocks down Corey Allen yet again.
Pulling him in, using the body, hitting on the high part of his rib cage. And these are guys, these are two big men.
Let's get it started, come on.
I mean, Allen seems okay, getting a lot of those punches on the helmet. And Allen exits with a smile now. We've talked a lot with Corey Allen, Chris, and one thing he's really confident about is his conditioning and his cardio. And we don't know much about Tippin and what's going to happen here as we go to this second round.
I'll tell you what, Tippin may be the most committed athlete here. He drove from the Toronto area to Edmonton. That takes some time, Phil.
You know what? I've done a lot of cross-country drives. I do it several times a year from Connecticut in Danbury to Wisconsin. But you know what? When I get to Wisconsin, I sit on my butt for a few days and do not much of anything. Imagine having to come in and then drop the gloves as we take a look at some of those big punches in the opening round.
This was all Tippin the first round. See, Allen got a quick shot in there, but really the aggressor was Tippin in this fight. He really wanted to take it to him. He didn't waste any time. Be interested to see how Corey Allen responds this round here, Phil.
Oh, did Tippin punch himself out? I think that's the question.
We don't know the conditioning, correct.
We get set for the second round. Here we go.
I got Ali. Let's go, boys.
A little bit slower to start the second, and we've seen this so far. Nope, it's all Tippin again. Tippin with uppercuts. Allen may be in trouble. Allen unable to get his hands out, and again another wrestling-style takedown.
Good job, good job.
And I spoke with John Morasti about that. He's not a fan of the takedown, of the wrestling-style takedown. He does not, when he judges, think as much about that. But you look, Chris, at just the number of punches that Tippin is connected with.
Tippin is the aggressor, and that also will sell to the judges.
35 seconds, let's go.
Allen has had trouble just getting punches off here. And again, all Tippin with uppercuts here. Another knockdown. They come in quickly to separate, so
clock does stop at every fall, so we will remain at 24 seconds. It stays there until they re-engage.
Let's go.
Makes these 1 minute rounds feel a little bit longer, gives you a little bit of time to catch your breath. 20 seconds left in round number 2. Allen stalling. He's got to get a big punch in. He's on the ropes here. And Allen slips.
Let's go. Let's get in here and get it done.
Refs encouraging these guys as well, too, to make sure that they put on a show.
These guys are both a little bit tired. I mean, Tippin's been connecting this whole time, and nothing happens in the final 10 seconds. But you look at this one, and I mean, on paper, it's all Tippin.
All Tippin. I'd be very, very surprised to see any other result after that. Just strictly on the aggression alone by big Chase Tippin, really went after Corey Allen. Corey Allen playing more the defensive role. And I don't think at all in this, Phil, he was able to really establish himself in any kind of offensive presence at all in the fight. That looked very, very good showing here by Chase Tippin.
Yeah, Tippin was the aggressor, but in his aggression, he prevented, he was good defensively, preventing Allen from really getting off many shots. He did not throw many punches in these 2 rounds.
He did not, and that's what he said. He sat more in a defensive stance. We're going to have the sheriff take it away here again.
We have a decision. Guys, we have a winner by unanimous decision, Mr. Chase Tippin. Chase, whoa, buddy. Was that entertainment action or what, man? How do you feel after that one?
My nose hurts.
Man, I think I ran away from the platform here, man. I didn't want to get hit. There was some big bombs thrown there. What kind of respect do you have for your opponent?
I mean, Corey can throw him the best. Throws hard, and I mean, we're here to put on a show, so.
Well, you guys did definitely put on a show. Congratulations, my man. You're an OG of Ice Wars.
Oh, we're 2 fights down in this opening round, Chris, and we've had a lot of punches thrown. We had a TKO, and now in this last bout, it went the distance, but it was all Chase Tippin.
It was. Chase Tippin really, I thought, came out and he wanted this fight. It looked a lot more. It was a grudge match, we said. These guys had fought a lot, and we're going to take a look at some of what went on, but it's really two different fighters right here. You can see Chase Tippin. Alan, that was maybe the one that he came in. He did catch Chase with one, but this was pretty much the theme here the entire time. Alan going down, Chase Tippin trying to manipulate him a little bit to get the punches in. That was another close quarter, but those right there, every one of those is hitting. Those are very, very hard, quick punches underneath.
A lot of damage, a lot of punches. We don't have a punch tracker. Maybe in the future we'll have something like that, but a lot of hands being thrown by Chase Tippin, and it makes you wonder. He lost that fight earlier this season. You just get to sit back and stew and think about it for a long period of time.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no question. Interesting to see after each of those fights what the cardio will be like moving forward. That'll be one question for Chase Tippin for sure.
Well, our next matchup's going to be an exciting one. The veteran Curtis Swanson out of British Columbia and JF Lafrance from Quebec. Both are professional hockey veterans. Both have spent a lot of time in the LNAH. These guys have, dropped their gloves. Big size advantage for Curtis Swanson. Lafrance only 5'10" against the taller Swanson. Now, Swanee doesn't look like he does in that photo that you see here on Fight TV. The long hair's no longer there. He's got the cowboy look now. He's the cowboy. And then JF Lafrance, well, he doesn't speak English, so I haven't had a chance to talk with him. I don't know what he's all about, but he is very experienced.
I did use what French I had left from my elementary years, Phil. I did have a conversation with JF. You know what? He's excited to be here. Legend in that league, legend in Quebec, and a lot of people do know who he is. That Quebec men's league is something else, and there's a lot of fabled characters coming out of there. JF Lafrance certainly one of them.
You know, it's funny, coming from the Danbury Trashers, very aware of all of the fights. The LNAH, all the teams are like that.
Yes.
At a previous point in time, as we take a look at the helmet-to-helmet matchup between Swanson and JF Lafrance. A lot of determination on these young men.
Curtis Swanson, he said his name was Swanee. I said, well, you're cowboy now. He says, call me Cowboy Swanee. So that's easy enough.
Now they're mopping up the ice. You could do that, right? It's not real ice. You don't have to scrape. You just mop. And that's what they're doing right now, getting ready for the for the next matchup between these two guys. But you know, the LNAH and a number of these fighters, and even in the previous incarnations of Ice Enforcers, Ice Wars, a lot of those guys came from that league. And it's interesting, even now, while fighting isn't the focus of the LNAH, you still do see a pretty solid 2 or 3 fighters on a team right now. But you know, they used to stack 3-4 lines of just guys willing to drop the gloves, and it was a complete gong show. That's the background for these guys. I mean, that's, you know, you're fighting 2-3 times a night every night.
Every single night, and it's toned down. I mean, you talk to the guys that have been in it, including Curtis Swanson, is another legendary member of that league, and every one of those guys that's played in that league and is in this tournament has set a reputation for himself coming out of that.
Yeah, knowing the former Danbury Trashers and John Morassi and Brad Wingfield, they fought in that league. You know who else has fought in that league? Our man right at center ice, the Sheriff, Sean McMorrow.
All right, guys. I want to hear some noise from the crowd again. I've never witnessed battles like this before. We need to recognize these Ice War warriors right now. Let's turn it up for the fighters in this way. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go! Let's go! Woo! Our next fighter, his nickname is The Beast.
Chase my dreams. I won't regret when the sun sets, 'cause I live my life like I'm a
at 5'10", 248.4 pounds, he hails from Quebec, Canada, with over 150 career hockey fights. Ladies and gentlemen, this beast is averaging 8 penalty minutes per game. His message to the world is, I will be bringing the crown home to Quebec. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the Jean-Francois LaFrance. His opponent tonight, nickname is the Cowboy, aka Swanee. At 6'2", 269.6 pounds, he is a professional hockey player with over 50 career multi-fight games, over 60 fighting majors in a single fighting season. His message to the world: I have the competitive and fighting spirit to dominate Ice Wars. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the Cowboy, Curtis Swanson. Let's get it on!
All right, fight number 3 about to begin. The Beast, Curtis Swanson, and JF LaFrance, or Cowboy Curtis Swanson and the Beast, JF LaFrance. LaFrance is in the white. Both guys trading off rights here in the early going, but it's Swanee connecting with extras. A little bit of an inside edge there from LaFrance. They're game for the battle.
Keep battling, keep battling.
LaFrance is hanging in here in the early going.
This is a good tilt. Both guys throwing in tight quarters, Phil.
Cowboy trying to come in with some rights. It looked like LaFrance missed. Trying to come in with an overhand.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Uppercut there. Oh, and that one tagged the Beast.
Get it, get it.
He's swinging, boys.
And the Beast goes down.
It's amazing. It's only the first drop of the fight. I mean, as hard as those guys were going.
Sorry. Up here.
He got stunned with an uppercut from Cowboy Curtis Swanson.
Right, Beast? Bring it back here.
After that stop, back over to one side is the Beast. And they're going to resume.
Cowboy.
Both guys throwing some big bombs yet again.
Swanee cut pretty bad over the right eye.
But Swanee's still throwing lots of hands in the round edge. Oh, that's a nasty one. Nasty cut over the eye of Swanson. So LaFrance got some good shots in Bundy, but Swanson throwing a lot of hands as well.
A lot of hands in tight corners. I tell you what, we got some celebrities here on hand, too. I gotta say, in between rounds right now, Flyers goaltender, the great Carter Hart. He's out here tonight, an Edmonton native. How's it going, kid?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. We're so happy to have you here. Edmonton's your hometown. What do you think of this? I saw your dad at the casino yesterday, John.
Yeah.
He's walking around. He says, what's going on, Saturday? I said, you're here to fight. I said, you got to bring your kid down, right? He said, we're going golfing. How are you enjoying this?
Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, this is a cool event to have in Edmonton here. We love hockey. We love the sport. It's a different take on it, and it's cool to see everybody out here supporting it, and and the guys throwing the knucks here.
You know, we come from a franchise that's really been pretty much, you know, the fighting city of the NHL is Philadelphia. Yeah. Game's changed. You're going to help us call this round.
Zach McEwen. he's tough.
Carter Hart's expert commentary here during this second round. I'm sure between the pipes you've gotten to witness a few rounds of fisticuffs.
A few times.
Nothing like this though. Another knockdown. The Beast goes down quickly.
The Beast just got absolutely tattooed right there. Cowboy threw a heavy, heavy left.
He connected hard.
Yeah.
He's leaking.
Like, if we could probably tell Carter this actually happened almost every single night, every Southern shift about 30 years ago, kid, so it's a little different.
Not so much anymore.
No, the game has changed.
The only guy on our team throwing the knocks is Zach McEwen, and he's tough, man. He's one of the toughest guys in the league. He's a strong boy.
Brings a lot of energy, real good
great guy, good player, plays hard.
Well, these guys about to resume. Swanson, big right hands. Oh, and down goes LaFrance again. You saw him backpedal and fall onto his backside. Swanee has this one in control.
It's got to be over now.
One more?
You got the Western Canadian here against the Quebecer, and I'll tell you what, I'll give the Beast a lot of credit, guys. That is taking a lot of punches right there, and Swanee's one tough customer.
And he connected. He bloodied Swanee back in the first round. Big cut over his eye, but it's been all Swanson ever since. Oh boy, LaFrance wants more.
Good Western Canadian boy.
That's a slip and fall, a bit of a stumble.
Swanee pretty happy with his effort here, and LaFrance is done.
That's it. Well, you said it, Carter, Western Canadian boy. I called 9 years in the American Hockey League. Pound for pound, the Western boys, the WHL guys, always the toughest in my experience.
It's farm boy strength, lifting hay bales. That's what it's about.
How many kids you still see, when you talk about the Western League, you still get a pretty fair amount of fighters in the Western League, more so maybe than the other leagues.
Yeah, I mean, I think so compared to the QMJHL, the OHL. I don't know what the rules are now, but I mean, like my 4 years in the Dove, I played with a couple tough guys. One of my best buddies who's over here, Nolan Volkin, played 5 years in the Dove for Seattle. He's a tough guy. He was a captain for the last couple of years, and he's a big boy. He's a good player, but he can throw him, and he's a good, tough Western Canadian boy, like I said.
Let's get it down to center ice and the Sheriff, Sean McMorrow.
All right, guys, we have a decision. It was called 33 seconds into the second round. It was a win by TKO. The winner, Curtis Swanson. Swanee, that was probably one of the most entertaining fights I've ever seen. That was bomb for bomb. That's what you call an open fight, right versus left.
Well, it feels good being back in here. I need a few to wake me up, and hopefully I'm there the rest of the night. Let's go, boys.
There you have it. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of respect for LaFrance.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights
Holy
from our last match between Curtis Swanson and JF LaFrance. LaFrance a bit stunned at the end of that fight, but Bundy, take us through it.
This is pretty serious at the beginning here. Carter, too, you look at it at the big Western Canadian here, the Cowboy. What'd you see going through it? I saw a guy on the attack the whole fight.
Yeah, he came in hard. He was throwing a lot of rights, connected with a couple uppercuts there, and he knocked him down a couple of times, and that's tough to recover from.
You think that just was a Western Canada boy just taking care of the East, right?
It's just some farm boy strength right there.
This is here. He did poke him a few times, though. Came back. I'll give the Beast credit, and finally his corner said, no, that's enough. Enough's enough.
Yeah, the Beast seemed to have a little bit of an earlier understanding of the synthetic ice early on. I thought that helped him out in maybe the first 20 or 30 seconds until Swanson was able to get his bearings.
Yeah, well, we're going to move on. Carter Hart, how's your summer going? I know you're gonna get back with your dad, but how's summer going? Getting ready for the season. I know playoffs are going. That's got to get you motivated, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just got home now. Just started training again. We'll start skating here in about a month, and looking forward to getting back to Philly and get back on track. I mean, this year was tough. The last few years haven't been good for us, for an organization, and I mean, we're an organization that prides ourselves on winning, and the last few years haven't been up to par, and we need to be better. And I think this year, guys are motivated. They'll come back ready for camp, and we'll make the right changes necessary to be a playoff contender next year.
I know it all too well, my friend, and we thank you for coming up, both Phil and I, and Ice Wars. Enjoy the rest of the night with your family.
All right, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Carter.
And we'll send it right back to the Sheriff, Sean McMorrow.
Well, I want to know if I could get a picture of Mr. Hart afterwards. Is that okay, buddy? Great on. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm extremely excited to announce this next bout. I can hardly contain myself. This is our showcase bout of the first round, ladies and gentlemen. The first fighter that will be announced, his nickname is Diamond Hands. At 6 feet, 225 pounds, he's a heavyweight, hails from Maple Ridge, British Columbia. He is a professional hockey and lacrosse player. In the 2012-2013, he was voted CHL's toughest pound-for-pound player. His message to the world is the crown has already been won. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Diamond has a.k.a. Daniel Amsbury. And his opponent, nicknamed the Lion. At 6'2", 265 pounds, he is a heavyweight. He hails from Melville, Saskatchewan. Ladies and gentlemen, he has over 400 professional hockey fights, 2 seasons with over 500 penalty minutes in each season. He is the current holder of Ice Warriors 2010 belt and the belt to the LNAH. Ladies and gentlemen, his message to the world is the Lion will be king. Without further ado, the Lion, Derek Parker. Let's get it on.
All right, let's take a look at the helmet-to-helmet matchup real quick between these two combatants. Derek Parker and Daniel Amsbury.
Ended up being the feature of the first round. Here they go.
Amsbury is the young gun and Parker the veteran. Oh, both guys trading punches here in the early going, and Amsbury was caught off balance.
Parker is a heavy, heavy hitter. He's known for throwing the bomb. Amsbury getting the chin strap back up, which has come off.
Amsbury, the smallest of the King of the Rink participants, only around 210 pounds, but great conditioning. He was in good shape. Oh, what a big right! He connected on Parker. Here's Parker. Amsbury went to the left, and that just riled Parker up. And Amsbury is down.
What a Both guys just absolutely hammered each other.
Amsbury popped back up. He goes to his corner. He looks fine. But right as they re-engage, that was a huge right hand. And all it did was wake Parker up.
That Parker, he throws it, but Amsbury came in on the second reload and just threw a bomb.
Oh, and he came in with a left. Got caught off balance. All along the boards they go. Amsbury with the right to the back of Parker's head. Oh, look at these guys battle. Down goes Parker.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. No disappointment here. Phil, this is incredible.
If your heart's not beating out of your chest, check your pulse right now, folks. 10 seconds left in the round. Amsbury got caught spinning. Oh, and they threw a punch from the knees. The horn sounds. It did not connect. What a first round. There's a reason why this was the last match of the first round of the King of the Ring tournament. You folks on Fight TV just saw why.
That is absolute ferocity on steroids. Daniel Amsbury, not sure. He was looking forward to the fight, knowing that the Lion is a legend. And he came back after that fall, perhaps slipped in the Parker. Will not waste any time throwing that haymaker. But boy, Amsbury, as you said, 6 foot 220 against a ferocious man in over 400 fights in Derek Parker. What a fight.
He said he wanted Parker after that matchup was announced. We're going to find out why. Look at some highlights.
Here we are right here. Look at Parker getting down. That's the beginning of the fight. And then Amsbury, this is towards the end. He got stuck behind him right there. No let up at all. He tried to turn Parker back around, very respectful. And these guys here, Parker got a wake-up call, I think, Phil, when you're watching it. I think he was a little bit surprised at that punch that came in from Amsbury on the second reload between the two. Incredible start to this.
Round 2 underway. Oh, one punch knocked down. Amsbury connected flush onto the forehead of Parker.
Let's go. Let's go. I got Parker here.
advantage over Amesbury. Parker showing some pretty good endurance, and he pushes Amesbury down.
Parker's so strong, too.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back together.
No question, Amesbury's the most conditioned athlete here.
Finish it. Come on, finish it, boys.
Less than half a round to go. Amesbury trying to come in with a right. He connects. He's switching hands here.
He is.
We wondered if he could do that, as hockey fights did not show the ability to throw the left. He has thrown the left, and now they both go down.
Parker did turn him around, forced him to go left. You wonder if that was some kind of a methodical find by Parker. Parker's seen so many fights, there's nothing he's not used to.
Hey, get him on it, get him on it, get him on it.
We might see our first sudden death.
Oh, yeah.
We might see it, and the fans want it. Amesbury, oh! Right hook!
This is the conditioning part of it.
Yep.
These third quarters telling him to get after it again. Don't give him a chance.
Waning moments up, the horn sounds. Well-deserved hugs, but I don't know if we're done yet. I don't know.
This would be the one, if there was, that you think would be going to the 30-second punch-off. This is unbelievable. What a tilt.
If you could move two guys in one fight to the semifinals, we would do it right now. I mean, these guys were both monsters in the ring.
Absolutely incredible. But I tell you what, and you see two different guys, two different styles. Amesbury more, I think he wanted to draw it out. But you look at Derek Parker, he should be proud of himself, because I don't think he knew he had that conditioning, although he did just fight in a league 3 weeks ago in a playoff game in the Quebec League, I believe.
Yeah, he was in the LNAH,
yeah.
So he, you know, it looked, when we saw him come in, it looked like he literally came off the street, but he's in game shape. Let's send it to the sheriff.
All right, so the three legendary judges have deemed this a draw. We will go to the third round. Please draw your clock.
Oh, the fans wanted it, and the fans are going to get it. Sudden death in the final matchup of this opening round.
The icebreaker is upon us.
Okay, let's bring it on, boys.
30 seconds to determine the winner. Amesbury coming in. Oh, and a knockdown. Seconds in. Parker goes down again.
Here we go.
Clock is stopped again. 24 left.
Keep it going. Parker's off balance. He stumbled a bit. Now he's trying to use the boards. He's trying to get Amesbury into the boards. Amesbury connecting with a few stiff uppercuts. Oh, they both just missed on haymakers. That right hand connected. Another right hand connected. Parker came back with an uppercut, but he falls down.
This is a condition.
We got time here.
Derek Parker, a hero.
He
to
looks
Daniel
stunned.
Amesbury.
Parker looks stunned. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, that's going to go to the judges. I don't know how you folks at home scored it. I have my own opinion on it.
Too.
I'm sure you do. So just let the suspense build up for another few moments.
Just saw Derek Parker right at the end of the fight look and say, darn. I don't think he feels he did enough. We'll see what happens, but I'll tell you what, Daniel Amesbury taking that weight off of what the Lion, Derek Parker. And as I said, the Lion was a hero to Daniel Amesbury for many, many years. So a different setting when you got to go in against a guy who's your hero and lay the hammer down. And I think he did enough. Just my guess. I think it's just to Daniel Amesbury. We'll see what happens.
To put it in that old NHL perspective, it's like all the young guns coming up trying to fight Probert, right? Same thing.
They did.
Go to center ice. And the sheriff. But first, these highlights.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an
You can see it. Just a lot of big punches between these two guys.
That was an incredible fight.
Fans are just getting excited on the replays of this. And Amesbury having to wait at center along with Parker. That was another big right. Amesbury, we didn't know what we were going to see coming in. A lot of people thought, you know, there wasn't much of a track record with this guy, but he really showed a lot here in this first Ice Horse fight for him.
Such a close match. winner by split decision, Diamond Hands Daniel Amesbury. Whoa, get over here, young lad. That was the most incredible fight I have ever seen on any platform, Daniel Amesbury.
Yeah, man, Derek Parker's no joke. I grew up watching guys like that, him being one of them. Major respect. I'm just glad I hit the fucking road and did my cardio, because that was a battle.
That was the most incredible battle. I am not exaggerating at all. Great job, great win for the kid. Parks, I need to talk to you, my friend. That was the most incredible battle I have ever witnessed. Like I just told you guys, I think you guys need to give each 5 again. That was the most incredible battle. This man's looked up to you his entire life. You are an idol to him. He got his opportunity to fight you, Derek Parker. You are a legend. You will never be forgotten. I look up to you myself. Congratulations on the incredible fight, my man.
Thank you. I know Ice Warriors is going to do another event. I want to be a part of it. I think Daniel has got a chance to go into the final. A tough draw. I know there's a lot of fans that enjoy what's going on. So I hope to welcome. I'm speaking with a French to welcome my friends in Quebec. À vous, au Québec, qui j'ai joué la plupart de ma carrière. Je vous aime. Québec est toujours spécial, place spéciale dans mon cœur. Quebec will always have a special place for art. To my brothers and sisters of the TCRC out on the rails, I'd like to say solidarity. And my sponsors are owners of my hockey team, Robin and Julian and Jeremy Taylor. I'd like to thank him. But I hope to see you guys all back in the next time we do Ice Warriors.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Derek Parker. If we get to see you again, we're going to be a lucky bunch. Please give it up for the Lion, Derek, the Legend Parker. Wow.
Well, that was something there, Phil.
You know, I'm speechless, and you know me, Chris, and AJ Galante, who's here in the booth with us, knows me. I am rarely speechless. I am rarely at a loss for words. What a tilt. I mean, if you want to talk about fight of the night, and I know we have a long way to go, so there may be some more tilts like this one, but holy crap. I mean, I normally don't get to this point, but my gosh, what a battle.
I mean, everything is advertised. I mean, when we drew this yesterday, I mean, all the other fighters were like, you know, Diamond Hands and you know, talking to all these, getting to know all these guys, you know, through this process. You know, Danny, you know, Diamond Hands was like, man, Parker's in this. You know, Parker was a late addition, and he was just like, wow, I've been watching him since a kid, studying him on YouTube and drawing them together, and you know,
that's
unreal. You know, our first icebreaker, I mean, it's going to be our first 30-second icebreaker round. It's going to be hard to beat that one.
You guys both were very much Danbury Trashers. I mean, you called the action, but I mean, AJ, what is it? A fight like that, how often do you get to see an actual tilt like that?
Again, I mean, you could go through the box scores, you know, 5-minute major, but that, you know, that was a fight. I mean, that's an instant classic. I mean, that's that was unreal. And I tell you what, a lot of people, you know, he's a wily old veteran. A lot of people were counting the Lion out, and he was he was on his A game.
It was, you had folks that were counting him out. They're like, oh, Amesbury's a lot younger. He's in better shape. But then there was the other side. Amesbury doesn't have a very long fight record in hockey. He does in lacrosse. That's a completely different game. And then they're like, well, you know, Parker's a veteran. He's smart. He's wily. He's really strong. And we saw that strength.
You saw it in his eyes. At one point, I'm sitting working the timekeeper here, man of a lot of hats right now. And I saw his eyes. He looked like a lion. He was pouncing. And nickname is apropos. And you know, that was something that was special. That was a special fight right there.
Amesbury shows something though, AJ. Young, seems to fit the bill. Very good-looking young guy, you know, and he loves what he's doing, and he wants to be the king of the ring.
He was one of the first people to reach out through Instagram when we announced this late 2021. Hey, we're bringing this, and he peppered me with DMs. Hey, I want to do this. I want to do this. And same thing.
Yeah.
You know, first thing you do is go to hockeydb.com, kind of see a guy, and doesn't have a lengthy rap sheet there, hockey-wise. So I was like, I don't know. But the more I looked into him, I'm like, man, this guy is one of those guys you can build a team around, a sport around. And he moves on.
He's got the rapport now, right?
Oh,
no doubt.
I mean, that's birth. That's baptism by fire right there. That's how you start your Ice Wars career.
Oh, the first round of the King of the Rink has ended, but we've got, before the second round begins, we have another one of these grudge matchups. You know, the Battle of Alberta. Is it the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames? No, it's not. Well, okay, it is. I can't lie. It is in the NHL. But in Ice Wars, we have another Battle of Alberta between Travis Check and Bo Cornell, who, when you talk about the local kid, he really is the local kid. He's like from right down the road.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, when you're putting on fights, you try to find local guys, obviously, and just lucky to have him. Another young kid, gritty. Said to me, hey, I can't fight that much when I play. You know what I mean? I'm not supposed to fight as much. So this is an outlet for him, you know? It's one of those things where it's like, hey, this is a cool thing. You know, it's crazy hearing a young kid. Oh, it's a cool thing to try. And, you know, he wants to test himself and brush up on some skills that you may not be able to in this sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Travis Cornell is, or Travis Check is just 5'7", so he's the smallest of the combatants. Bo Cornell is the college hockey kid, the University of Jamestown in North Dakota, ACHA. So, no, you can't fight, as Chris can talk to, being a 3-year standout at Providence.
You can't fight in college, so it's a little different. He has a history of it, though. He's a very aggressive kid, but very studious, very interesting. Let's chuck it right now to the sheriff at the center of the rink.
All right, guys. Now, every family has siblings. Most families, anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, we just had a request. We have 2 fighters that cannot wait any longer. They want to throw them down right now. The first fighter that will be introduced is a loose cannon. We may have a situation where there might be a fight backstage about who wants to go next. That's how eager some of these fighters are. I'm hearing the crowd. I'm hearing this section over here is pretty loud. Are you guys the loudest section? Whoa, 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 whoa. They just said they're the loudest section. What? Wait, these guys here. Is it the Amesbury crew over here? That's right. I gotta make a comment about the Amesbury-Parker fight, guys, because I have never witnessed anything like that before. I hope you guys just realize what just happened. I've never seen 2 gladiators go at it like that. I was even scared for the 3rd round. I didn't even want to see it. I know you do. Woo! That was a fight in the making, guys. People will be talking about that one for an extremely long time. As I was mentioning earlier, guys, every family has siblings. I have 2 brothers. I fought these 2 guys my entire life. Up next, we have brother versus brother. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? First, we are bringing out Ben knockouts. He hails from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, with an 88% winning percentage in hockey fights. He represents Flames Nation in Edmonton. What do we think about that? What a brave man. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, one half of the brothers, Mr. Ben Kennedy. Flames Nation. And his opponent tonight, the other half of the brother duo. He is 5'10", 222 pounds. Also hails from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, with over 25 fights and 6 knockouts, ladies and gentlemen. He is a destructive warrior. He once said when they were younger, "Mom, I am the tougher brother. I am the better looking brother. And I'm gonna beat up my older brother." Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the second half of the brother duo, Mr. Jordan Kennedy. This is the first professional brother bout I have seen, ladies and gentlemen. I am very excited for this. I want to know where mom and dad are sitting. I want to know what's happening here. I can't contain myself. Well, is this history in the making or what?
Well, no doubt in the Kennedy household, whoever got the last drumstick, there was a bloodbath that ensued following.
Two great guys here, and I'll tell you what, these guys are best of friends also.
Now, they're not best of friends at the moment. Jordan and Benny Jets Kennedy, and they're coming out wailing away.
That's it. No, we need it right away here.
What do you think of the two brothers, AJ?
Let's go. Hey, you don't get a break.
This is something else. Where else but Ice Wars, right?
You don't get a break.
Benny Jets Kennedy is the older brother. He's in the white. Jordan Kennedy is in the blue. Oh, and Benny Jets got turned around.
Oh.
Benny Jets goes down. Now Jordan's thinking Saturday night's all right for fighting when he knocks down Benny.
Little brother knocks out big brother.
Yeah. That's it.
Wow.
That's it. That did not take long.
It's all Mom wanted to see anyway. Everybody's healthy, safe. A lot of bragging rights now.
Oh boy, aren't there? Yeah. Yeah, Benny Jets did a little pirouette there in the ring. I think once you get knocked in the face and you do the little 360, it's not going to go well for you.
Yeah, that's where you end up getting stung here. AJ, what'd you think of that?
Well, Jordan told me, he said he was aiming for a second round knockout. I think he did a little bit of a rope-a-dope there, so.
You got me really fucking good. Holy.
There's a lot of chirping between these two guys yesterday. They're still chirping right now. Jordan's really giving it to Big Bro.
I think they're going to go again.
Well, it's only 8:25.
We have a
Buffet's
decision,
open
ladies
till
and
10.
gentlemen. 20 seconds into the first round. Winner by TKO, Jordan Kennedy. All right, I'm talking to both of you at the same time. Come. You guys are brothers. All right. I got to figure this thing out. You guys been fighting your whole lives or what?
I'd say, yeah. Yeah, been fighting since I could get on my skates.
Who's better looking?
Him now. Some might disagree.
This is incredible, guys. Congratulations to both of you. It took a lot of glory to do this. I'm just glad to know both of you. Brothers fighting. First thing in history. I love it. Thanks, guys. Great job. Let's hear it for the Kennedy brothers.
They might be smiling now. Mom might still not talk to them for a while as we take a look at this quick highlight.
Actually, a very good job right there, actually getting out of the way. And Benny Jet right there. He fills it at the end, AJ. Good tilt, though. A couple brothers going at it.
Hey, listen, you know what? Benny Jet's got a couple in there. I think, listen, heavy. I see them in bunk beds in our bedroom doing this. I don't know. I just, listen, Lorna Kennedy, big shout out to Mom. I told these guys, listen, I'm only signing this contract if Mrs. Kennedy agrees to it. And she agreed to it.
Mrs. Kennedy, as I found out, guys, was actually a fighter herself in hockey.
Oh,
They had both brothers told me that. Their family had. They have a sister, too.
Yeah.
That's not afraid to
fighting
drop the
family,
gloves either.
the fighting Kennedys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lorna. We love you, Lorna Kennedy. The best.
I mean, if you were going to follow up perhaps the fight of the night, you got to go with brother versus brother. I mean, why not?
I mean, that was fun. For as long as it lasted, that was fun. And you know what? At the end of the day, 20, 30 years from now, they'll be watching this tape. Probably every year from this day, it's going to be an anniversary for. I think Big Moose is going to be rewinding this on the anniversary of this day.
That's like Christmas, right? That's like a holiday thing. All the families come over.
Yeah.
I'm going to break out the tape of Ice Wars. Look at me beat the crap out of my brother.
It's like you never know when it's coming.
Telling the kids, the grandkids. Your grandfather got decked in front of thousands of people watching on Fight TV.
History in the making, and they got it forever now. So that's going to be some interesting holidays down the road.
You know, we've got a lot of interesting things coming up, AJ and Chris. We've got the semifinals starting. We've got the opening match of the semifinals, Justin Sawyer and Curtis Swanson. And you know, these are two longtime pros, guys, that maybe we're not surprised to see them do battle here in this second round.
Two big guys again. You're almost pushing 600 pounds again, AJ, combined weight. I was really impressed with Cowboy Swanee in that first round. He took a punch early, remained composed, was cut in about the first 10 seconds, and he came back with one haymaker after another, ended that fight quick.
Well, again, when we were recruiting guys, Swanee, you know, when I heard the name, I'm like, oh my God, he's still around. No disrespect. I'm like, I remember him from back in 04, scouting these guys with the Trashers with Phil, and you know what? I've been boxing. He's been boxing, and I saw that in his first fight. I saw very patient, went to the body, threw a couple uppercuts. I mean, very, very boxing. His boxing training's been paying off for him.
You know, it's going to be real interesting now in these semifinals, the endurance. You know, now it's a new matchup. They didn't know who these guys were going to face off with against each other, but we're going to get to see them reintroduced to the ring by the Sheriff, Sean McMorrow.
All right, guys. Who's ready for the Group B semifinal of Ice Wars International? Coming out first, guys, we got the Cowboy Swanee. Ladies and gentlemen, at 6'2", 269.6 pounds, he is a heavyweight, a professional hockey player with over 50 career multi-fight games. Over 60 fighting majors in a single hockey season. His message to the world is, I have the competitive and fighting spirit to dominate Ice Wars. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the Cowboy, Curtis Swanson. at 6'6", 294 pounds. He is a heavyweight, a 10-year professional hockey enforcer. He hails from Ajax, Ontario. In 211 pro fights, this man has never gone down. His message to the world is, I am coming to Ice Wars to catch 3 bodies and a crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Justin Sawyer, a.k.a. Bonesaw. Let's get it on!
Well, the Bonesaw did go down in his first round matchup victory as he defeated Travis Levitsky. It was Curtis Swanson taking care of J.F. LaFrance in a TKO. And now these two big boys going at it.
There should be fireworks here again too, Phil. Both guys had very good wins.
Some body punches.
Bonesaw's helmet.
Looks like Sawyer's trying to get Swanee's helmet off his head.
There you go.
Oh, and then Swanee tried to come in with a right. He just missed. He's got Sawyer kind of pushing him at bay.
24 seconds. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Swanee wants to draw it out as long as he can.
Yeah.
Give it to him. Give it to him. Give it to him.
Oh, a couple of stiff rights there. Levitsky taking some little right jabs on the face.
Keep it going. Keep it going. You got 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Waning moments of the round.
10 seconds.
Looking to score points. Oh, left hand by Swanson, but didn't get all of it. Pretty good first round kill. And it looks like Levitsky was kind of pointing over the eye.
Yeah, you know what? That was another good fight, too. It was a left, again, and the right eye on Cowboy. He's cut again. Bonesaw again, though, he came out. He looked like he was, again, trying to get his balance. Both big, strong guys in their upper body trying to get fight this in tight. And Justin Sawyer right there now is trying to get that helmet strap fixed so he can get that on so it remains.
He's got his corner man working on that. Winner of this will go to the finals and will face the winner of our other semifinal matchup between Chase Tippin and Daniel Amesbury, and I think that's going to be a war. I can't wait to see that, but we still have another long round here between these two gentlemen.
Yeah, these guys, neither of them look like it. They both look like they're treating that first round like a draw. Neither one badly injured at all. Swanee with a little bit of that cut over the left right eye. There's a little action from this round here.
Let's go, boys.
See it right there. There's Bonesaw and Swanee going right at it here. Two big men.
You got him.
Oh, the blood dripping from Curtis Swanson just by the right eye.
There it is. Get it.
And Swanee trying to come in with some right hand. Sawyer trying to use his reach advantage.
Keep it going. No wrestling. Let's go.
Right hand from Swanson. Uppercut from Swanson. That one missed though.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Swanson just has that right hand going like a jackhammer. He lost the helmet. And now thrown along the wall.
Keep it going. Keep it going. You got 25.
25 seconds. No stoppages yet in this round. Swanson just keeps that right hand moving.
18.
He does. He's trying to pull him back and get leveraging out. Here they go now.
Sawyer looks gassed. Both guys look gassed. Final moments of round two. Big Warriors in center ice. And the horn sounds.
Wow. What a tilt that was. That'll be an interesting one, Phil. You know what I'm thinking here again? The judges will have their work cut out for them on this call.
This might be a draw. I mean, here's the thing with Swanson. He was cut in the first fight. It reopened in the second fight. Do you treat that the same? I don't know if you do. In this scenario, both guys really threw a lot of punches.
They did. They did not hold back. Both trying to pull on each other's jerseys to create leverage as they're going back. But ultimately, you see right there, Swanee just pouring blood coming down his face onto his shoulder blade. And he is cut pretty bad. They're going to have to tend to that. They're going to have that big punch off here in the third round.
Simon Levy from Big Cuts, who is one of the best cornermen in all combat sports, has been affiliated with Champs Boxing Club for many years. He is based out of Quebec. He has handled a number of top professional fighters, both in boxing and in UFC, and honored to have him here tonight as, you know, as AJ Galante talking about, just like a magical cut man. And just like that, he comes in and he has stopped the bleeding, obviously in preparation, Chris, for an icebreaker, for a third sudden death round.
Looks like we're heading to that. We're waiting on it here. The judges are getting their cards in here.
Three judges. John Nasty Morasti, Brad Wingfield, Brad Mayran, three legends. Yeah. Legends of the ice, legends of the ice ring.
You know they're legends when guys come from higher leagues.
Oh, yeah.
And they know every one of these guys. So John Morasti's name is synonymous with the Syracuse Crunch, and every NHLer knew who he was.
These two Ice War gladiators have come to a draw. We're doing a third round, ladies and gentlemen. Please go to your corners.
Here we
Please go to your corners.
30 more seconds. Chris, I don't know how much these guys have left in the tank after the waning moments of round 2.
And you'd think that this would favor Swanee, right? The long, drawn-out fights. Look at the job. You're right. That cut, boy, is sealed up really, really good. Amazing job.
That's all Simon Levy.
Yeah.
Swanee and Sawyer. One more round. Swanee, oh, they're trading rights. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Woo. Can't stop, won't stop.
Look at that.
Still firing away. Wow. Wow.
Both guys easily, Phil, can make a case for themselves.
Oh, my gosh.
Especially in that last part. That was insane.
You know what? And we may have to, if we can get time, to get either John Morasti or Brad Wingfield over here after this decision has been made. I would love to get their thoughts into the scoring of this one, because it's going to go to the cards. And my gosh, it's going to be a close call.
Absolutely. This is going to be amazing. And they're going to tally it up here. You can see the judges doing their work. And they do have some decisions to make.
Now let's send it down to the sheriff, Sean McMorrow. Looks like they're still kind of adding up some points.
Am I hearing sections competing for action here? Who's the loudest section in the building? Did you guys not just witness what just happened? We have a decision, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, was this ever a battle? Winner by split decision. Bonesaw Justin Sawyer. You know what? I'm gonna keep both of you right here. Because guys, what I'm witnessing right now is something that I've never witnessed before in 13 years of professional hockey, this type of fighting. Now listen, everyone's heard of Morasti and Bosse fights. That's what we just witnessed right here, ladies and gentlemen.
That was unbelievable. I'll never forget that. Respect.
Thanks a lot. I'm just glad to come out to retirement for this event.
Wow. That made me come out. You guys just officially, we got to change some rules going forward, man. That was as close as it gets. You guys are legends, and I'm blessed that you guys are part of this. You guys are both winners. I know that's cliche. Holy shit. Thank you, guys.
Wow. Wow, 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 guys, that is incredible.
Well, one of the things we have here, we had to go to the judges. That was the first time we did. We're going to bring in the legend, John Morasti. Nasty, what did you see here in this fight? You know, you're kind of, does it make you wonder if you made the right call yourself?
Geez, you know, I'm going to be honest. It's doesn't get any closer than I was looking for the other judges to see if we can have another round, because those boys put it all out there, and shit, it's making me want to fight now.
We're going to take a look at some highlights. That's a real tough one, though, John. I mean, you've got two big guys. They look like pulling each other in, trying to leverage each other. Tell us what you're seeing here and how you're judging this.
You know, like I looked, honestly, every single round that we were having there I was looking at the other judges because it was so hard to go by. You know, I felt that Parker deserved one. I felt that Sawyers deserved one. And that last one, honestly, man, it was just, I kind of went by the guys that were making the cleaner lands, but props goes to Swanson. You know, he's a tough combatant and hell of a guy.
I know, Nasty, when I was talking with you yesterday, this is what you wanted to see. You didn't want to see the wrestling takedowns, and we've seen some of that here tonight. You wanted to see big guys go toe-to-toe at center ice, and that's what we saw here.
Yeah, you know, this is a sport that we want to entertain too, right? So obviously we don't want the guys to get hurt, but I really feel that they need to go out there and do it. You know, playing pro hockey and the amount of fights that I had, I always really didn't like the guys that would hang on or hold. You know, if you're going to fight, let's go. And I think those guys put a great spectacle out there for the fans. I mean, you can't, you know, another fight that I'm going to talk to, I wasn't about here, was that fight with Amesbury and Parker. What a hell of a fight, man. Those guys put it all on the line and deserve their paychecks today.
Yeah, just an amazing battle between those two guys. And, you know, Amesbury's going to fight again. I mean, your thoughts here, you know, your first time here at the Ice Wars, you know, coming off of Stage and Screen, the star of Shorzy on Crave TV and coming up on Hulu. What are your thoughts on this, you know, after playing pro hockey for so long and then seeing a spectacle like this one?
Oh, it's excellent. I think it's a start to some big things. You know, hopefully this can promote some more fights around the country and even in North America. It's awesome. You know, I got to convince my wife to let me fight too, and I'll start training tomorrow. The blood's sure boiling. I'm not going to lie, boys.
Never enough, right, John?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she's pretty hard line. Hard line no in the Morasti household.
She's the only person in this world I'm scared of.
John, you got your work cut out. I know you've done a great job over there. You and the other two legends, Hall of Famer as well, as you're going to be inducted here tonight. But good luck the rest of the way. What are you thinking here? It's going to be a couple good tilts left. Huh?
I think we got some more to see here, but you know, definitely those fights are hard to get by. You know, like I'm amazed. My adrenaline was going. It's awesome the boys have put that kind of show on.
That's John Morasti, former Danbury Trasher, over 400 professional fights. Nasty, thank you so much for joining us as we're getting set for the next bout. There's a lot of mopping up coming up as we take a look. Coming up, the second semifinal, Diamond Hands, Daniel Amesbury, and Chase Tippin, who was dominant in his fight over Corey Allen.
Oh, this could be another great fight here. Amesbury certainly shined in that first one, and against the Lion, coming out against a legend, wasted no time getting that win. What I love with Amesbury, just watching the fights now, seeing him, he comes in with a quick left or right off the draw to the belt. So that'll be something for Tippin here to watch a little bit. So big, so strong is Chase Tippin, and it'll make it an interesting fight here against the conditioning of Amesbury.
And that's the thing with Amesbury. It's a quick punch that comes in. Parker never had a chance in his bout to get the hands up and defend himself. We take a look here at the helmet to helmet, and once again, Amesbury is grossly mismatched in height and weight, but you know what? He has the reach advantage, so he's got that going for him.
He does, and you know what? It is interesting when you see that, right? The reach is actually an inch longer than the very, very large Chase Tippin. So this, again, should be an extraordinary fight. There's going to be a lot of punching in this one.
Let's go back to the sheriff, Sean McMorrow.
All right, guys. I still can't get over these last couple fights. We are going to have people talk about this for an extremely long time, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for the next semifinal match? I said, are you ready for the next semifinal match, ladies and gentlemen? Introducing to you first, we got Tip. At 6'3", 283 pounds, he is a heavyweight, a professional hockey player with over 100 career fights. He recorded 67 penalty minutes in a single shift, ladies and gentlemen. His message to the world: fear has never and will never hold me back. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Chase Tippin! And his opponent, Diamond Hands! At 6 feet, 225 pounds, he is a heavyweight, hails from Maple Ridge, British Columbia. He is a professional lacrosse and hockey player. In the 2012-2013 season, he was voted CHL's toughest pound-for-pound player. His message to the world is the crown has already been won. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Diamond Hands Daniel Amesbury. Let's get it on!
Second semifinal and a quick knockdown there is Amesbury, who went down a lot in his first fight. I mean, there were a lot of knockdowns both ways, but he was strong against Parker. But Tippin was the aggressor against Allen, and he's the aggressor here in the early going.
And I think if there's one thing we did see in that first fight, even for the Lion, he may admit it himself, he was not the aggressor. It was Amesbury that went after him. Tippin here trying to change the tides a little bit on Amesbury. Trying to get the strap fixed up there.
Again, I think with Amesbury, as he did in his first fight with Parker, endurance was the key, and he got him into that icebreaker round. And you don't necessarily want to have to go another 2.5 rounds because you got a final championship match after that. But he did have to fight a little bit longer. We'll see where conditioning comes into play. They get set to re-engage. And Amesbury can throw the left and the right.
Pouring.
Oh. He got busted open.
Yeah.
They'll have to work quick to try to stop that nosebleed.
He got, as they got turned, it was a heavy shot.
No, that's it. That is it. Amesbury needed to go the distance against Parker. He did not have to go very long in this bout. A TKO of Chase Tippin, and Amesbury is on to the championship round.
I tell you what, this kid is impressive. He's 31 years old. He's the youngest combatant here, and I'll tell you what, that was something to see.
I mean, here's the thing. Tippin was the aggressor, Chris, at the start. He got a couple of good punches in the early going. But after that, after the helmet was adjusted, he was able to kind of regroup it and get his bearings back. 3-4 big shots. Diamond Hands indeed as we take a look at the replay.
This is after they went down. You see the first punch, that cut him, and then boom, right there. That threw it right back. This is at the beginning, but already you can see Tippin was taking some punishment even before. Here's where they come back up again. You can see trying to leverage the left. Comes in, that was the right that buckled him. The second one missed and dropped him. That was an incredible job right there by Amesbury after the first fall.
Yeah, Tippin and Amesbury, I mean, it was short and sweet, but Daniel Diamond Hands Amesbury was outstanding as he has won his first 2 professional Ice Wars bouts. And let's go down to the Sheriff.
All right, guys, so we do have a winner. 20 seconds into the first round, winner by TKO, Diamond Hands Daniel Amesbury. All right, so I'm holding you both. Chase. All right, first of all, Diamond Hands, that was action-packed. How did you keep up the energy from the first round, my man?
I fucking put in the work. Thanks to my sponsors.
I fucking was able for the last 2 months to hit the pavement, do the work with my gym, Savard Boxing Club, every day in work, and that's why I was able to do that. So thanks to my sponsors, thanks to my crew that showed up. I'm not done. I'm not fucking done here.
All right, you heard it here. Congratulations, kid. Great job, great job. Mr. Chase, OG of Ice Wars, you had a victory tonight, man. You put on a big show for the whole world. How do you feel, brother?
I feel good, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't look like it. I look pretty fucked up, but I feel good.
You look good, you feel good, and you performed amazing, buddy. Congratulations. You're an Ice Wars OG, my man. Let's hear it for those two warriors, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the bleeding didn't stop. I mean, you saw Tippin, he had his bearings about him. He appeared okay, but sometimes if you can't really stop the bleeding, you take a shot like that, you just can't continue on.
I think what happened was, Phil, before as they were going, he came in and he got that one right. It hit him right on the bean, and then he missed the second one. But I think that was enough when that blood started really coming out of his nose. That's when he went back right there, and that's where it's tough. Amesbury said it, though. He's really on the ball here. He's physically conditioned, extraordinaire. We're going to see it right here.
Yeah, a lot of determination as we get a look here again. This was the beginning. This was the quick knockdown, but it's something we saw against Parker in the first fight that Amesbury went down a couple times early.
Tell you what, that was impressive, though, by Chase Tippin. I mean, he did just drop him right there, and that was a punch, and that's what ended it, the one punch. That's what's so interesting with Ice Wars. You can have a good pickup, come down, start off the fight good, but when they reload, Amesbury was ready, came in with that right, and that changed the entire course of that fight right after that.
You know, we've seen quick hands from Daniel Amesbury, so very quick, lefts and rights.
Yep.
A lot of strength, a lot of power in those two. So he's got a deadly combination. It's going to be a tough matchup for Lewicki in the final against him.
It absolutely is going to be a very, very tough matchup. A big guy again, but it doesn't look like Amesbury's had any problem with him.
No, he hasn't, and just you could hear him when he's talking with the sheriff in the ring. It's just there's a focus, there's a determination, you know, in terms of wanting to battle.
Absolutely, no question. He's got a will to compete, and that's absolutely what he's going to be trying to do. And he's going to come out again. He's not afraid. That's one thing. You'd think maybe he'd be intimidated by these guys who've been around, and you know what? He's not at all. Justin Sawyer is a guy, and when you look at the two fights he's gotten through, interestingly enough, but I think he'll find out pretty quickly here that Amesbury's going to go on the aggressive.
Yeah,
he's got a little bit more time to rest too, Phil, which will play into this again.
That's really, well, you know what, both guys are going to have some time to rest because there's going to be kind of a little bit of a break, and we've got the Hall of Fame induction coming up in just a little bit. So we got the championship match, and we also have one more battle, one more kind of grudge match battle before we get to the championship. I don't know if we're doing the Legends recognitions first before the final matchup, which is going to be the battle of or the local battle really between Aiden Cornell and Travis Check, or if we're going to go vice versa. Still waiting for some information on that. Before we've got Carter Hart in the building here today, Philadelphia Flyers goaltender. We had a chance to talk with him earlier. We've had AJ on. It's been so much fun, Chris. I've really had a blast here in this inaugural Ice Wars battle.
You know what, too, Phil? And it's a lot of figuring things out as you go, right? It's the first one. A lot of guys came in from some of the United States, get this event going. It's been trial and error, but I tell you what, it's been an extraordinary event. We've had John Morasti up here. Carter's here with his friends, his family. It's just a great thing. I mean, you come out to Edmonton. I've been to Edmonton many, many years, since 1994, and even before that, my NHL days. It's some of the greatest people you're going to find in the continent or in the world, and they're sure having a good time here tonight.
Yeah, late building crowd here at the River Cree Resort and Casino, and want to give a shout out to the River Cree Resort and Casino for hosting us here this week. I know you were here earlier in the week. I got here on Thursday. Just a beautiful resort and casino here in Enoch, Alberta. And, you know, in addition to events like this, a lot of concerts, a lot of stand-up shows. It was great walking the hallway into the venue and seeing the microphones of all the luminaries that have performed here, all the legendary musicians that have performed here. So just like a nice, great venue to host this type of event.
No question about it, and it is. It's a very, very beautiful casino. They don't have a lot of great shows come in on Howie Mandel, Tanya Tucker. So they do draw a lot of great celebrities that come in here. And this is certainly an interesting event. A lot of different, you know what? a very diverse crowd. Men, women, all over, different kinds of people at the venue here today, and I think a lot of people do enjoy coming out and supporting these great fighters.
They really do, and you know, for those of you watching here on Fight TV, you know, obviously fan of combat. You might be a hockey fan, you might be a combat sport fan, maybe never really was much of a hockey fan, and that's okay, because as AJ Galante said, this is prize fighting on ice.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you're wearing hockey gear, and there's a little bit of an element to it, but you know what? There's no puck, there's no sticks.
There's no puck, Phil, which makes it not hockey. So that's where we're at with it right now. I'll tell you what, though, I mean, these guys come in. I think the interesting thing is meeting these guys for the last 2 or 3 days when they've been in is the fact that they're willing to do this. They want to do this. It's part of the culture that they've grown up in, and as we all know, the hockey fighting culture, which you know well from your Danbury days, see probably more fights than most all people involved in pro sports. This is part of the spectacle, and they love it.
Yeah, it really is, and just a lot of fun to be here tonight, to be hosted by the River Cree Casino, and it looks like we're going to send it right back to the Sheriff, Sean McMorrow.
We're going to throw this up here now again to the Sheriff, who is in the middle of the rink.
The Sheriff's not quite ready yet. We're all on his time. He's the Sheriff after all.
Who's going to argue with him?
No, I'm not. Are you?
No.
500 pro
500
fights.
pro fights.
I know it's been a while since he's dropped the gloves, but you know, still.
Well, he's certainly willing. That's sometimes the worst thing, Phil.
He talked about it earlier. He said he was tempted to kind of come out of retirement. Now we're ready for the Sheriff. Here's Sean McMorrow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for our next grudge match? I said, are you ready for our next grudge match? Introducing to you first, we have a jawbreaker. At 6'3", 250 pounds, he is the hometown kid from Legal, Alberta. He terrorized the ACHA for 2 straight seasons. His message to the world, I quote, I have the hands of God. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Bo Cornell, a.k.a. Jawbreaker. And his opponent tonight is a loose cannon. At 5'7", 205 pounds, he is from Calgary, Alberta, with 42 career fights, with 50 knockouts to his credit. His message to the world is it ain't the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Travis Jack, a.k.a. the Loose Cannon. Let's get it on!
Yeah, I'm not sure what to expect in this one. No track records really for
are you ready?
Bo Cornell and Travis, the Loose Cannon check.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
No, and check's only 5'7", but he comes wailing away Oh, he wanted to keep throwing, even though Cornell was down. Cornell, college hockey player on the ACHA level in North Dakota. Oh, a little stiff right from Cornell, and now he's going after Czech. Czech comes in. Oh, these guys are feisty. They're feisty.
That is something. They're not wasting time. This is a true battle of Alberta. You got a Calgary record and an Edmonton kid up here. Both Cornell just north of here.
Oh, boy. Oh, they're having a go. They're having a good time. Cornell, a lot of reach, but Czech fearless. Getting in tight. Oh, three big rights. Czech's like a ferret out there. He's just going right after him.
He is. That's a good word, too, Phil. Ferret.
This has been fun. This is a fun tilt.
I think we might have Bo Cornell may have a hurt leg.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Oh, it could be a little more than that.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, a little jelly leg there, and Travis Czech. Well, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight and the dog. True words have never been spoken about the loose cannon.
That was something else. You don't want to run into him in a dark alley.
No, you know what? I don't. I don't.
That's why you always be careful who you get mixed up with.
So, you know, we saw him kind of walking around the resort through the week. He's a guy that didn't talk very much.
Nope.
Didn't say much, and he let his hands do the talking here tonight.
All right, we have a decision, guys, so you can see the respect of these warriors. 20 seconds into the round, we have winner by TKO, Mr. Czech, the Loose Cannon. I need both of you. All right, I saw the mutual respect that you guys had for each other. Can you please explain?
Yeah, Kurt, give a lot of respect to Bo for stepping up. Yeah, I give respect for anybody that'll get in the ring like this.
Congratulations on the win, my friend. Bo, hometown kid, you're young enough to be just out of high school. You are one brave man. What do you have to say? What do you have to say for your family here for you today?
They're probably disappointed, but I'm here to just have some fun, get some experience, and fuck, he's one tough guy. So.
Yes, Bo, but you are very brave. Your family's proud of you. I'm proud of you. You are an Ice Wars original gangster, my friend. You're an OG. Great work. Let's hear it for these fighters, guys. I said let's hear it for the fighters, guys.
You know, I got to say, Travis Czech, really strong performance. And, you know, when you get to the point where you have enough guys under 200 pounds and you want to have a middleweight division, something along those lines, he's a guy that can kind of, you know, you can make some waves.
There's absolutely no question about it. And certainly they're trying to build these divisions. And that's certainly, he's going to make an impression on people, and they're going to remember him. A lot of power. You can see Bo Cornell. And this is a case here, Phil, watching it, it just looked like Bo Cornell had just too much high leverage on him. And he's a little Travis Czech right there, just a little power puncher that took it out. Low center of gravity. He made all those punches count.
Yeah, he was able to kind of get in tight. Cornell had a huge size and reach advantage, was never able to use that to his advantage. And, you know, Czech had him turned around. Nothing Cornell could do at that point.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, just good, interesting little tilt between these two guys. Kind of a little bit of a appetizer for the championship match coming up in a
little bit of a breather. Yeah, this is where we're coming down now to the final match, and tell you what, it's going to be an interesting bout for sure. And tell you what, Phil, I don't know what you saw in those first two matches, but Daniel Amesbury, these two guys, if you went through it, they would be the two guys that would be left, and appropriately so.
Yeah, you got the bone saw, you've got Daniel Amesbury, and you know, it's one of those things. In a sense, you don't really know what you got coming in because this is so brand new, and all these guys, well, they have various records. We didn't know what we were going to get here in the Octagon ice surface, but a lot of buzz about Sawyer, a lot of buzz about Daniel Amesbury, so perhaps not surprised to see these two men in the final.
I think Amesbury, when you talk to everybody at the end of the day, he seemed to have been the wild card coming in where nobody knew. Really, I think they knew that he was a willing combatant, but I think they all had a feeling he'd be in really good shape. They just weren't sure how he'd stack up against the size in front of him. No problem so far for Daniel Amesbury, and he's going to see it again for a third time with Bonesaw here, Justin Sawyer.
And now that's the thing, you're in for a third fight, and this is uncharted waters, you know, maybe for a guy like Amesbury. And as it stands now, if you're playing hockey, most leagues, 2 fights and that's it, your night's over.
2 fights and your night's over. If you get 3, you're out, and you're probably going to get a suspension, or you're going to end up missing the next game. So yeah, 2 fights, and now there's been waiting. You know, those muscles get a little bit relaxed, and then all of a sudden you'll see how you're going to start feeling as the night goes on, and this is their 3rd fight each.
I know we've got the legends coming up, and in fact, I'm going to get up from the broadcast table because I'm going to make my way here to the ring with AJ Galante, and we've got some fun stuff. So Bundy, I'm throwing it over to you for a moment while we get set for this next
I will do that, yeah.
part of the show.
And we are here, as I said, that's my partner there, Phil Jubileo. He's heading over to do the Legends right now. There's going to be some. We're actually missing one. Another one of our local combatants from back in South Jersey, a former Danbury Trasher, none other than Frank the Animal Bialos. He's not here tonight. He had COVID, I believe, could not make the trip from the Philadelphia area. But we have some representation coming up with some of these gentlemen here that have been major league parts of the story and fabric of some of the great cities down, especially the United States. John Morassi in Syracuse. His name's synonymous with that franchise, and you could talk to just about any single person that's been involved in pro hockey at all. And these 3 guys, Dean Mayrand, John Morassi, and Brad Wingfield, who will be our inductees tonight, along with Sheriff McMorrow. These are guys that have been absolutely celebrated heavyweights, tough guys throughout all the leagues that they've been in. And then rightfully so, they will be honored here tonight as the first inductees of our Ice Wars Legends Hall of Fame. We still have some guys here. Some of the celebrities are still here. Carter Hart and his friends still hanging out in Edmonton here. They're going to stick around. You can't leave now. You cannot depart the final match, as the guys right now are getting themselves ready to be inducted into the Ice Wars Legends. As we'll call it, a wall of fame or the Hall of Fame, either or. But these guys here certainly well deserved in what they are doing. Both Brad Wingfield is the anybody watch the special, and most people that I'm sure here are watching this watch the Netflix special, The Untold Crimes and Penalties, with AJ Galante and his superstar to becoming a general manager as a 17-year-old. An incredible story. But one of these storylines in it, as my partner Phil had talked about to me, Brad Wingfield and Brad Wingfield's revenge in that story. I mean, these guys have some absolutely incredible historical stories that even guys that played in higher leagues were very, very well in tuned as to who these gentlemen were in the fighting circuit of hockey. And as a result, they will be inducted in here momentarily into the Legends Hall of Fame. John Morasti's from out here. His parents are here, wife and children. And this will be a pretty special moment right here for these guys. Some of the fighters are getting showered up as well. The former previous fighters in this belt, they're coming back out, kind of circling the rink octagon, if you will. They're getting ready to watch some of this ceremony. A lot of these guys, you find out when you show up, there's not one of them that has an NHL presence amongst them that are here tonight, and that doesn't matter. These guys are willing combatants and guys that are certainly that everybody through the different leagues have known. And perhaps the last of the finest when you look about it. And see the way hockey is now, you don't quite see guys like this anymore, or an influx in the major professional leagues. These are guys that have left their mark certainly on the sport. You can have a look here. Here's how we got here, if you will, right now. Daniel Amesbury taking on, as you said, the first match against Derek the Lion Parker. He was his boyhood hero. Saw him, watched him growing up. Amesbury slips out. He did a number on Parker. Parker, tough customer, too. Moving on to second match, Chase Tippin and Corey Allen. Tippin got Allen pretty good towards the end of that match, and he moved on. Another big bout. That was a heavy duty fight. None bigger though than Justin Sawyer and Travis Levitsky, well over 300 pounds combined. Justin Sawyer, a slow start, fallen a couple times, but really came back hard on Travis Levitsky, and Levitsky was tapped out of that And then the last of the group of those fighters, Curtis Swanson and Jean-Francois Lafrance, another good one. Cowboy Swanee doing a great job before we moved on to our semifinals. But those guys, and many of them, as they moved on, every fight got better. None highlighted by any better than the Amesbury fight in the first round against Derek the Lion Parker. So we're waiting for this ceremony to start right now. I am currently on solo as my partner Phil Jubileo is up there. He's a Danbury Trashers, the announcer there for many years. He's seen enough fights, as we all know, and they are preparing, as I said, for this fight, for the induction ceremony, which should begin momentarily. AJ and Phil are actually over at the half boards right now, preparing for, and the guys are getting ready to get inducted. Nice crowd here in Edmonton too, hockey crowd, and there is a lot of energy in the air here. A lot of people coming into the River Cree Casino tonight, and you know what? We were wondering at the beginning, is it helped that the Battle of Alberta is raging on here between Calgary and Edmonton? Well, it certainly has helped our event, because if you're talking about hockey, you're talking about heavy competition. You're not going to see better hockey than you probably did the first two games between these teams, and I think it lent perfectly to what this event is all about. A lot of Western Canadian flair to it, which certainly helps. Guys now are starting to make their way very slowly over to the boards as they're going to come in. You can see AJ Galante right there. He's waiting to make his exit. There's Team Diamond Hands right there, Daniel Amesbury's group. You can see him. I'll tell you what, he's done a number and cut up some people pretty good here tonight, and he'll have to do it one more time if he wants to take down Justin Sawyer and skate off with the $15,000 prize. Looks like the scene is set right here. Phil and AJ are in the ring for what is sure to be a very, very fun and well-deserved ceremony for our ice legends.
Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a lot of fun tonight. Mind, y'all can be louder than this. Y'all can be louder than this. Let's go. Big one coming up. My name is Phil Jubileo. I was the voice of the Danbury Trashers. I'm working on the pay-per-view tonight, and I'm really pleased to be part of this Legends presentation. And I want to thank my good friend and colleague here who's going to get started with these Hall of Fame inductions. Let's give it up once again for AJ Galante.
Wow, what a night, guys. I mean, you guys are all part of history, whether you know it or not. Every person that have come here, I'll never forget, because this has been a special thing. We're creating an event. Like any other sport, there's Hall of Fames. And one thing I thought was important was to honor the legends of the past of the hockey world that don't really get that ceremonial goodbye. So we created, that's right, go Trashers. So we figured, what better way to create an Ice Warrior Legend Hall of Fame? And boy, we got some big ones. We got some big ones to introduce, and we have two special gentlemen that couldn't make it here, unfortunately, but they're being inducted in the class of 2022 Ice Warrior Hall of Legends. Frank the Animal Bialois out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Former Danbury Trasher, minor league hockey legend, over 2,000 penalty minutes, 1997, 1998, Calder Cup champion, an alumni of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Frank, I know you're watching at home. Love you, buddy. Thanks for all you've done. Another gentleman that couldn't be here today, a legend, the Maniwaki Mauler, Gino Ojic. 2,500 plus penalty minutes. He was the most penalized player in the 1996-1997 NHL season. Those are the type of guys we want in our Hall of Fame.
okay? We're not worried about 50-goal scorers over here. Gino, we know you're at home watching. Thanks for all you've done. You're a legend, and you'll never be forgotten.
Our next Hall of Famer, just a well-known name. If you've seen Netflix Crime and Penalties, you're very well aware of our next inductee. He's from Gibsons, British Columbia. Over 3,000 penalty minutes in his long professional hockey career, including time in the American Hockey League, where during that time he was involved in one of the greatest minor league tilts of all time called the St. Patrick's Day Massacre. And then, of course, Winger's Revenge in Danbury, Connecticut. Let's bring on to the ice former Danbury Trasher, Brad Wakefield. Our next inductee into the Legends Hall of Fame, he basically needs no introduction, especially now because he's the star of stage and screen on the television show Shoresy, but he really made his reputation as a longtime pro fighter. You know you are a real big-time fighter, even if you have not been an NHL player per se, but all the guys in the NHL are scared deathless of you. His name, John Nasty Morasti.
Our next inductee, another legend. As many of you know, this Ice Wars concept started in 2006 in Prince George, British Columbia, the Battle of the Hockey Enforcers. It was won by our next inductee. From Windsor, Canada, the 2006 Battle of the Hockey Enforcers, the OG, the Machine, Dean Mayran.
Our final inductee tonight, he's another guy. First of all, none of these Hall of Famers need any introduction. We don't have to introduce this guy because he's been with us all night, right? He's been on the ice as our MC. I am proud to have him as a new friend and a broadcast partner, but in his long professional career, he's played in the National Hockey League. He spent a long time in the American Hockey League with the Rochester Americans. Over 500 professional fights, a 3-time AHL Man of the Year, which speaks to his character. Let's give it up for the Sheriff, Sean McMorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the inaugural class of 2022 Ice Wars Hall of Legends. Now who's ready to see who's going to be crowned King of the Rink? Come on, guys. They told me everything's crazier in Alberta. Who wants to see the King of the Rink? Let's do it.
Well, we got one more fight to go here, and that's congratulations to each and every one of those Ice legends. I mentioned one of the players not here, the Maniwaki Mauler, just outside of Ottawa. Ontario. Gino Ojek, a teammate of mine in Philadelphia as well, but most known for his days in Vancouver. Each of those gentlemen deserve a big round of applause. Congratulations to the Ice Legends and their induction into the Ice Wars Hall of Fame. I get my partner getting ready here to get his headset back on. And we're going to very quickly take a look at how we got here. Had a very, very brief look, Phil, at how these gentlemen got to the end result, and here we go. This is the first fight here.
Take a look at some of those early matchups. That was the matchup between Amesbury and Parker, which we could say maybe still in the running for fight of the night, Chris.
I would say so, unless this one, the final one does it, but certainly the legend Parker take it down. Here's Chase Tippin now against Amesbury.
This is Amesbury in his second fight with Tippin, and he went down early against Chase Tippin, but the closer in fine fashion. Amesbury turning him around, 3 big punches, and now we're going to take a look at the bone saw, Justin Sawyer. Well, how did Sawyer get here, Chris?
Yeah, well, this is early here. This is Levitsky. We're talking about the big fight early. Levitsky's helmet had a good start. Bone saw on his heels a little bit. It didn't last. He ended up really starting to get that arm up and going, and here he goes again. Second fight. Again, as he had to take down another tough customer right there, Cowboy.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting it done. This went to an icebreaker, and this was another, probably at the time, second best fight of the night, Phil.
Yeah, this was a brawl with Curtis Swanson to the point where you see them in the waning moments just trading right hands. We had to bring John Morasti on to kind of talk through it, and he even said that was the hardest fight of the night to call.
He wasn't sure that he even called it, right?
Yeah.
That was so close, but you had to pick somebody. It's Justin Sawyer against Diamond Hands Amesbury. It's going to be a good one.
Well, what's stronger, a bone saw or Diamond Hands? That's what we're going to find out here in a couple of minutes.
Amesbury, to me, is just extremely dangerous, but Sawyer's, again, the size. How does it all fit into the third fight for each of these guys?
Yeah, these guys, you don't fight 3 times in a game much anymore. I mean, if we were doing this 10, 12 years ago, maybe it's a little bit of a different story, but we've got this great championship match coming your way here on Fight TV. $15,000 and the crown, the first ever Ice Wars crown to the winner of the championship. And for the introductions, let's bring it to center ice. Sean McMurrow, take it away.
Boy, oh boy, am I ever excited for this one, guys. This is the finals! Wow! Introducing first, his name is Diamond Hands. At 6 feet, 225 pounds, he is a heavyweight. He hails from Maple Ridge, British Columbia. He is a professional lacrosse and hockey fighter. In the 2012 season, he was rated the CHL's toughest pound-for-pound player award. His message to the world is the crown has already been won. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Diamond Hands Daniel Amesbury. And his opponent for the final match, he is a bone saw. At 6'6", 294 pounds, he is a heavyweight, a 10-year professional hockey enforcer. He hails from Ajax, Ontario. In 211 pro hockey fights, this man has not been taken down. His message to the world is, I am coming to Ice Wars to catch 3 bodies and a crown. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Mr. Justin Sawyer, a.k.a. Bonesaw.
Well, this is going to be one here, Phil. I tell you what, the final match, AJ Galante joining us. What are you thinking, guys?
Now $15,000 and the crown is at stake. AJ Galante between Daniel Amesbury and Justin Sawyer. This is what you were envisioning, weren't you?
It couldn't have laid out any better. These guys earned their spot here. And this is Amesbury. Diamond Hand's got literally a tough mountain to climb here.
Well, he lost. Oh, big uppercut from Amesbury, a second one. But Sawyer taking several lefts to the head. Amesbury going for the early knockout. But the Bonesaw has Amesbury along the wall. Oh, a little bit of a cheap shove as the refs were looking to break up Amesbury, who's nearly lost his gear.
We got a pause on the clock. Heavy action again, AJ, every time Amesbury.
They're going for it. They know what's at stake here.
The bar has been set really high when you look at the first two fights that Daniel Amesbury has participated in, and Sawyer as well.
Both guys went over, and they were throwing. That was the first fight we've seen where they really threw between the refs.
Yeah. They know, I mean, listen, the intensity's there. You feel it in here. It's hot in here.
It is.
It's hot in here, Chris, Phil.
Yeah.
I mean, the intensity is real.
It's heated. The crowd is at a frenzy here at the River Cree Resort and Casino. These two men in the ring. It's like a powder keg waiting to burst.
Amesbury's had issues with that helmet. They're trying to get on. Now the strap.
I think the
it's not
strap
the strap.
broke.
It's the actual, So
he was pointing at his helmet. It's the right.
It's the
right
strap.
side.
Yeah,
the right strap is. It's actually snapped. And they're trying to work on that, and that's.
Yeah, one of the listen, first time event. One of the kinks we're gonna have to figure out because you know we're gonna have to. Oh, there he goes. I think he's good.
Figured it out for now. 28 seconds still left in this opening round. Amesbury likes to come in quick. A little bit of a quick jab that time. Oh, the helmet came off again.
There it is.
Both guys trading. Amesbury's got the left going. He's got the left connecting. Oh, Sawyer coming back.
Oh, my.
Big right from Sawyer. Amesbury battling. Trying to free the hands right now. He's tied up. He's tied up. Little bit of a left. Big right hand from Amesbury. Off balance. Regained it. Amesbury an uppercut. Amesbury a right hand. Sawyer comes back. Here comes Sawyer, and they're separated for the moment. As the first round has come to an end, a fever pitch, couldn't even hear the horn.
That was something else right there. I mean, that was toe-to-toe at the end, AJ.
I've been trying to figure out round of the night, and they just keep outdoing. They just keep outdoing each other. These guys.
The Lion and Amesbury in the first one was a thrill ride. This one here did not disappoint at all. In our final match of the night,
I mean, this is the main event. Everything at stake here. $15,000. More importantly, the crown, the first ever king of the ring. Two totally different styles. Amesbury has that boxing background. I mean, he's very strategic. You could see him trying to pick his spots. And Bonesaw, I mean, when he gets his grips, when he gets his mitts on you, I mean.
Here's a look at some of them here. Here's a go.
Right on him.
The Bonesaw's so big, though, two guys holds him out. But Amesbury finds a way to cut in with a hook or an uppercut.
Great head movement for Diamond Hands.
Yep.
Great head movement and heavy blows. I mean,
you could see all the experience he's gained in lacrosse fighting, right? Hard to believe we're talking about that. By the way, all of you watching on Fight TV, it's the best $20 you've spent all month long for this entertainment here tonight.
And don't forget, rewatch this anytime you want.
Absolutely.
You buy it, it's
Unlimited.
yours.
Yeah.
Unlimited. Well, that's the type of beating I'm hoping Phil Tony D'Angelo lays on Santos Escobar this Tuesday in NXT.
Well, it's a good thing he got out of the van.
Well, we had a lot of negotiations. I had to be here. Shout out Tony D. How you doing?
Tell you what, we find wrestling royalty too here.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Mr. Versatile, AJ Galante.
Yes,
here
he
ringside
is.
tonight.
Man of many skills. They're trying to get Amesbury's helmet, that strap.
Yeah,
and actually, look at Sheriff's gone over there.
You got the Sheriff, you got John Morassi. I mean, it's a team effort. But the Morassi's just ripping the thing off right now.
What a fourth line that is, huh? Sheriff, Nasty, and Diamond Hands, huh?
The baby of that fourth line, right? He's the child. He's the youngster, 31. But he's the youngster in that group.
Keep sucking gas, Sawyer. Yeah, it's not the actual the tie that came. It's the hook that hangs on. There it is. There.
Yeah.
So trying to get to it.
They're gonna try to get that hole. I guess replace it.
Well, it wouldn't be the finals without a little bit of.
Yeah. I mean, he's just.
Miscues.
By the way, look at the camera. Camera guys are doing a fantastic job. You got Nasty just ripping the thing out with his teeth.
Hey, all hands on deck, Phil. You know how it is.
New one on. Yeah.
It takes a village, AJ.
Yes. Yes. But you know what? Jokes aside, fellas, I mean, I just think, like you guys know, the camaraderie amongst guys like this, you know, everyone's trying to help each other. Everyone's trying to get the respect factor is through the roof here.
So much respect, as we always seen, and you guys have seen for years too, with the chemistry. These guys just loving each other, and they're battling to try to get the prize and get some instant fame on themselves and their family.
Absolutely.
By the way, this lengthy delay, that potentially helps Justin Sawyer.
Oh, yeah.
Amesbury's really well conditioned here. The Bonesaw, you know what? He's standing strong. He's standing tall. But, you know, you're a little bit older. You're a little bit bigger. This helps you in a moment like this.
Absolutely doesn't hurt, I'll tell you that.
Looks like we're getting ready for round number 2. We've seen 2 matches, one from each of these men having to go to the icebreaker round.
Bonesaw seems pretty content there, just standing, waiting for it to come on. Amesbury's still trying to get, they're almost close there to getting it done. I know Amesbury wants to get going as well, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the build-up, too. I mean, there's probably a level of frustration where you had a pretty strong round.
Yeah.
You closed out pretty good. You want to just get right back out there.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're him, you want to get right back out there. You probably didn't even want the minute in between the rounds. Looks like they're almost ready.
Yeah, they're just about there, it looks like.
Oh, here we go. John Morassi's got he's taping it together.
Morassi's done this before, it looks like. Probably did it to himself some night.
Oh,
here we go. Let's get it going.
Pulled off his share of buckets in his long playing career. Let's go. Second round. Final round. Is it the final round? We'll find out. Amesbury and Sawyer for the crown.
Very strategic here.
Now they engage. And they separate. Amesbury missed with a right. Oh, there was a couple of horns.
5 seconds left in the round. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I thought the first round had ended. No, it was the equipment issue. They've got to go back. Are they going to end? Are they going to? Oh, okay. Let's clear this up. The second round was on the score clock for those of you watching at home. There was actually 5 seconds left in the first round that we weren't aware of. I think we all thought the round had ended.
Yeah, you'd say
we
that
didn't see
too.
the clock on the board, so my apologies there. So they just did a couple quick seconds. Now we're in another break, and now we're going to start round number 2.
Here we go.
Now it's the second round.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Nearly 10 seconds in. Finally, they grab jerseys. Amesbury got an early right in. Oh, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots. Sawyer taking a punishment. A beating from Amesbury. Amesbury. Oh, big right hand. Sawyer came back. Look at this. Look at this.
Toe to toe.
Oh, my God. Diamond hands.
Pummeling Justin Bonesaw Sawyer.
It's over.
That's it. Diamond hands. Daniel Amesbury is your king of the rink.
What a tilt. I mean, this Amesbury is fireworks all over the place. Tell you what, he came in here conditioned, and I'll tell you, he just knuckled it up right at the end. That was unbelievable, the energy this kid brings. We have a winner.
before we get set to introduce the new King of the Ring champion at center ice. Take a quick look at some of the highlights of this one. There's Amesbury. He knows he's the winner. TKO in the second round. Let's see some highlights.
Oh, here it is here. These guys were chucking. They ended up getting back in there, and they had both those arm motors going, just throwing them back and forth like a saw. And it came down at the end. They had to call it right there. Amesbury, ferocious Phil. He throws the uppercut and that side hook. That just does some nasty damage to people. I'll tell you what, this guy has a future of this sport. He put on a clinic here tonight, winning the 3 guys with a combined weight of over 800-some pounds.
Here's the thing. The hands, the ability to throw with the left and the right, the conditioning, and he has set a roadmap. If you're going to fight in Ice Wars in the next one, you better be prepared, and you better train, and you better be in shape, because you got guys like this, and they're coming right down the pipe.
Yeah, and Phil, you nailed it right there, buddy. He absolutely was so far better physically conditioned. That was the difference.
Here's the
All right, guys, this was absolutely incredible. We have a decision here. 30 seconds into the second round, the winner, the King of the Ring by TKO, Diamond Hands, Daniel Amesbury. I need both of you. Sorry, you're not going anywhere, but hey, Champ, I need you over here, buddy. We're gonna let him celebrate a little bit. Let's talk to the big man first. Both, I've never seen anything like this tonight, man. How did you do 3 rounds like this tonight, brother?
Yeah, that was a tricky one. I was pretty gassed after that last OT round. Amesbury had a good camp. He was in shape. I was happy to lose to him. He's a good buddy of mine, and respect. He's the king of the ring.
I don't think I've ever heard a fighter sound like a professor before. I don't know how you're doing this.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
Great job, congratulations. You are a finalist. You are an OG of Ice Wars, Sawyer.
Hey, thanks to everybody that came out. Thanks to my family and friends back home. I hope you guys all appreciate what we're doing here. And good job, Ames.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first King of the Ring, Daniel Amesbury. What do you got to say, King?
Fuck. I just got to say thanks to the sponsors and everyone that came to support me, drove all the way from Vancouver. I don't know what to say, man. I put in the work. I won this shit. Power of the mind. Get with it. I already won this 2 weeks ago in my head. That's why I won.
The crown has already been won. That was his message. But wait a second, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on a second.
Hey, you guys had fun tonight? You want to see more? First and foremost, River Cree Casino and Resort. Can't thank you guys enough. Like I said in the press conference, it's one thing to jump on a bandwagon. It's another thing to bring us in when we're at our infant stages, and we will never forget it. Thank you, guys. Daniel, we talked about this. I'm so proud of you. And listen, you are the first ever King of the Ring. But we also talked about the dangerous part of being the king is now that you're a target. John Morasti.
I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty impressed. You got my blood going. My wife's gonna hate this, but let's bang. Next Ice Wars.
John Nasty Morasti and Diamond Hands Daniel Amesbury. Who would want to see that? Diamond Hands, this is your night. You earned this. I know how hard you've worked, okay? We had someone special that wanted to come out here. I don't know where she went. Where'd she go? Come on out. Every king has a queen, right? We love you guys. We hope you liked what you saw. Thank you guys for the support. We will be back.
Wow, what a show tonight.
I just want to say one more thing. Thank you to AJ. Thank you to Charlie. Everybody who had something to do with this event. Like, this is something I've dreamed of for a very long time. Getting challenged by the Nasty Morasty blows my mind. This is a dream come true, man. As crazy as it sounds, I've wanted to fight that guy for a long time. So here we go. I guess it's going down now.
Wow.
Thank you, everybody. River Cree, thank you for the greatest hosts. We won't forget you guys.
What a night here in Enoch, Alberta. I mean, my goodness. Just a plethora of really strong on-ice fights. We see a new champion crowned in Daniel Ainsbury, the young gun, the diamond hands, and really just impressed a lot of people, opened up a lot of eyes here tonight.
He sure did, and I think a lot goes to show how important conditioning is. And he said it at the end. He goes, I won this 2 weeks ago. He had an idea what was to come, I think, from the other guys, and he was determined. I mean, not them saying that we didn't see it, but we did see his training videos a month ago, Phil. Yeah. He wasn't messing around. He came here to walk out of here with the 15 grand. And I will say, out of everybody at the end of the day, he earned it.
He did.
More so than anybody. I mean, the one thing I love about the Ice Wars setup and what happened here tonight, the rightful winner won the award.
I would totally agree with you. And here's the thing. Someone tonight on Fight TV is watching that, and he's like, I got next. I want to get in. I want to drop the gloves. I want to be part of Ice Wars. This is a sport. It's brand new. It's in its infancy. A lot of guys have that track record, have that hockey fighting background, but not everyone does. And tonight's winner was a guy that played professional hockey, but not at a super high level, and not for very long. Most of his career was in lacrosse. He told us he really learned how to fight as a lacrosse player. A little bit of a different background. So now you're going to see some guys sit and wonder, hey, is there room for me? And you know what AJ said? Ice Wars will be back, and it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen at the next one.
Well, we're going to see Daniel Amesbury again.
Oh,
he's our champ. He's our heavyweight king. Yeah. And now you get a guy like John Morasty coming back around. So already, what you said, we're already seeing. We got a guy like Morasty saying, you know what? His wife said, enough's enough. Well, unfortunately, he's a warrior.
Yeah.
And he's going to want to get back in. And he saw what just happened. And I think what's really, really interesting with this, guys, this is the beginning of something special. I think the fans saw as the night went on just how passionate people are and how passionate the fighters are about this themselves.
Yeah, I got to say, the crowd has been fantastic here tonight in Enoch, Alberta. And, just a really impressive evening. Thanks to those of you watching on Fight TV and IWIFights.com. So just a fantastic show all around as we take a look at some of the highlights here of our King of the Rink here tonight. From start to finish, entertainment all around. Chris, your final thoughts?
You know what? This is an amazing event. River Cree Casino in Enoch, Alberta did an amazing place, the city of Edmonton as well. The people that came out, the sponsors involved, my own Pennsylvania Recovery Center, all of our sponsors, Tiki and DPS Diversified, as well as Wilford Cannabis. This is really something else, and I'll say this to Charlie Nama, Cato Kalin, AJ Galante, and Jimmy Galante. Bill, it was a pleasure working with you and the Sheriff McMorrow on our first pay-per-view. Look forward to more to come, my friend.
It was a blast, Bundy. And, yeah, special thanks to Jimmy and AJ Galante. I have a long history with them, with the Danbury Trashers. Charlie Nama, great guy. Cato Kalin as well, the executive producers of this event. And that does it here for Ice Wars from the River Cree Resort and Casino. For my broadcast partners, Sean the Sheriff McMorrow and Chris Terrian, my name is Phil Jubileo. Have a great night, everybody. You've been watching Ice Wars, King of the Ring.
is exclusively owned by Hockey Enforcers USA, LLC, which owns and controls all copyrights and all other rights in and to the content. Any unauthorized use or rebroadcast is strictly prohibited.